As we enter the final month of 2015, most of the people are turning to thoughts of the holidays and the impending winter time. But tonight, two teams, their thoughts are turning to being the 2015 Class M state champions in Connecticut high school football. The Bacon Academy Bobcats travel from Colchester, Connecticut, to come here to Ledyard High School, Bill Mignault Field, on the campus of Ledyard High School, where they will take on the number 3 Ledyard High School Colonels. A steady rain coming down here at Bill Mignault Field, and we will bring you all the action live. Welcome to Game Day, live on theday.com. Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien. We've got the stat guru in the house, the junior voice of Game Day, and all the Game Day crew here as we bring you first round action of the CIAC playoffs between the Bobcats and the Colonels. And sports doctor, what are we expecting from tonight's football game?
Well, Casey, playoff football, an ECC-style party in the Class M division with, not only Ledyard and Bacon going tonight, but Killingly playing it as well. So two teams here tonight, Casey, and Bacon and Ledyard, who have two absolutely different styles and contracts. Bacon's more of the throw the ball over the place, fun and gun type of team, and Ledyard is switched to the double wing T offense. They're a ground and pound team, Casey. Two teams, two different styles, and they know each other very well. They faced each other in week 4 of the season.
And, of course, that game went the way of Bacon Academy, the only loss on the season for the Ledyard Colonels. And style is definitely going to be different tonight. Of course, the Bacon Academy Bobcats led by senior quarterback Sean Kelly. He likes to spread it out and throw it around to his skill position receivers. And the Ledyard Colonels led by senior quarterback Ty Ebden, who threw 60 touchdown passes in the previous 2 seasons, but has, much like the senior leader that he is, has turned things over to some other names like DeShield Santabria and Saccone. And those are some of the names that you've all heard through our course of our broadcasts. And, if you've listened to the broadcasts over the course of this season, you've heard the names Saccone and Carter and Krauth and Ebden and DeShield Santabria. If you've listened, you've heard the names Chassis and Gazibwe and Kelly. But there are so many other players in games like this. It's always in the playoff times where the names you don't hear, the names that don't always get called, someone has to step up and be the guy that people aren't expecting. Who are some of those people that we might be calling out tonight, Keith?
Well, tonight, obviously, on the Bacon side, we know Gazibwe and we know Kelly, but look for, junior wide receiver Paul Chassis on the outside. He is a big-time threat, deep threat for the Bacon Academy Bobcats. And if Bacon can somehow give Sean Kelly a little bit of time and a rainy, slippery, muddy field, the offense, Casey, on wide receiver, and may have an advantage over the defender because he knows where he's going. Some big plays could be made by Paul Chassis. And we know about Manny, and we know about Ty Ebden, and, obviously Luke Saccone, the Mr. Everything this year for the Ledyard High School football team. But how about senior Justin Carter? Justin Carter is another kid that can do it all. He can run the football, he can catch, he plays defense, he plays on special teams. So maybe Chassis and Carter are a couple of names that step up and grab some spotlight here tonight at Ledyard High School.
We're about 5 minutes away from the teams taking the field and about 10 minutes away from game time. We should let you know that Game Day is brought to you by the M.J. Sullivan Automotive Corner, the Science and Technology Magnet School of Southeastern Connecticut, and Lawrence and Memorial Hospital. Now, M.J. Sullivan Hyundai, where no money down means no money down. You can lease a 2015 Hyundai Sonata Sport for no money down and only $279 a month for 36 months. They'll pay your first payment, they'll pay your upfront sales tax, they'll pay your registration and dealer conveyance fees. You pay $0 down and only $279 a month for a 2015 Hyundai Sonata Sport only at M.J. Sullivan Hyundai, corner of Broad and Coleman Street in New London. You can see the entire inventory at mjsullivanauto.com.
Now, Casey, we talk about Ledyard's only loss this year coming to the Bacon Academy Bobcats, and it was right around that time that Coach Budico and his staff changed offensive philosophies, realized what he had out there for personnel, made some adjustments, and right now, Ledyard's got things really rolling on the offensive side of the ball. We just saw him a few days ago against Fitch on Thanksgiving Day, but it seems like all of these young men have grown accustomed to their roles and have caught on to it very well. A double wing T is a tricky offense to learn in a short time, but give credit to his entire staff and Coach Budico. They've coached these kids up very nicely.
Yeah, we saw them week 1 here against Cranston East when they were still running the spread offense.
Yeah.
And they won that game, but he wasn't happy with the way they moved the ball. We saw them against New London in a driving rainstorm at New London High School when they first moved to the double wing, and they ran the ball something like 33 out of 35 plays. They only threw it twice before the end of the first half, but it was all on the ground, and they just decimated a New London team. And I think that was the first first time Coach Bunicor said maybe he has something here. We saw them against NFA, where they overwhelmed an NFA team, and we saw them on Thanksgiving Day, where they really just were as efficient offensively as I think I've seen any team this year. They looked very, very good. And I think one thing we can say about Ledyard is they've gotten better every time we've seen them. Now, from the other side of things, Bacon Academy, they looked fantastic in a big win that we saw against NFA after the impossible win that we saw when they came back to beat Fitch. But they've had some hiccups, including a loss to Griswold after that big NFA victory, and sort of some up and downs from that thing, which is the difference between these two teams. Ledyard, with that very consistent, efficient offense, Bacon, a high-flying offense, they could put up all kinds of points. They could certainly be a very dangerous team, but can they come out and consistently hold on to the ball, especially in weather like this?
Well, good thing for Bacon, they've got an outstanding running back and tailback in Peter Gazibwe. So if they have to run the football, Casey, if they have to go tempo and ground control, they can do that. They have a very, very skilled player in Gazibwe, and he can run the ball between the tackles as well. It'll be interesting to see how the weather, A, affects their passing game, and B, how it affects the defenders on the field. And like you said, I mean, Bacon is one of those teams, they like plays in volume, they like scoring in volume. They don't care how to do it. They just want to do it very fast and efficiently.
So, we talk about the names like Gazibwe and, Sean Kelly. Well, in order for them to do their thing, it's always the big guys up front that no one ever talks about. And for Bacon Academy, it's guys like Captain Zach Hill and Captain Dylan Kornbrath, two of the very big guys on the offensive line, along with senior Tyler O'Connor and senior Colin Brown. That's 4 senior offensive linemen, along with junior Jared Kermode, and it's the senior-laden offensive line that helps make that Bacon team protect Sean Kelly and open holes for Peter Gazibwe.
Yeah, and I think in that first game against Ledyard, Casey, they kind of, size and the speed of Bacon kind of caught Ledyard off guard. It won't in this game. They've seen this team up close and personal. They'll make the adjustments on the defensive end. And again, on the flip side of things, Coach Bunicor has talked about his front 7 on the defensive side all year long. Listen, they're a veteran group, and Tanner Daggett and some of the other folks that are up there, Colin Krauth. These are the guys we're going to have to rely on. He spoke about them very highly all year, Casey.
Yeah, we heard Ty Ebden say that, during the first time when they played Bacon Academy, they just kept waiting to turn their game around, figuring, well, it's just Bacon Academy.
Right.
They really weren't prepared for the size and the speed that the Bobcats bring, and they weren't expecting Bacon to be as talented up and down the field as they were. And by the time they kind of figured it out, they had dug themselves a huge hole. Now, for Ledyard, going to this double wing would also not be possible if it weren't for the work of Jeffrey O'Hanlon and Christopher Clayette and Matthew Nova, Sean Hunley, and of course big Mike Leandri. And the name I'd not mention there is big 75 Tanner Daggett, my all game day nose tackle.
One of your favorites.
He is, but what I love about him is he plays fullback in this double wing, and he comes in, and him along with DeShield, Santabria, and Saccone, all block, as does the quarterback, Ty Ebden, all block for each other in this scheme. And then when Carter comes in to replace Daggett, it's just like a whole other option. It's going to be very interesting to see what Ledyard does with Luke Saccone tonight. He really took Luke Letelier out of the game in the Fitch game, and he is a great on-the-ball defender. But with Bacon spreading things out with Dan Narlock and Paul Chassie, you got Gazibwe, you got Tyler Bolden, Dante Rodiger, you got all these guys. Bacon likes to spread you out with 4 and 5 wide, so Saccone can only take one of them. What is Coach Bunicor going to do? We asked him. They have those 2 big defensive ends, Krauth and Johnson. They can't always rush the passer. They're going to have to cover. What kind of schemes will he come up with? He seemed to think they learned a lot from that first game.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. Saccone can't cover everybody, so you're going to have some linebackers dropping back in coverage, stopping some of the underneath stuff, stopping some of the quick slant stuff that Kelly likes to run with Bacon Academy. So it'll be a bit of a chess match on both sides of the ball. Hopefully the weather, I'm sure the weather's going to play a part in this game and take a little bit away from Bacon's passing game, but it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of Ledyard defensive strategy comes out today versus week 3, week 4 when they lost to Bacon.
Well, one thing that really matters, so this morning the Junior Voice of Game Day got on the bus to head down to Jack, their intermediate school, and this game was the talk of the bus, even all the way down into the elementary schools in Colchester, but it raises a point. This is the biggest game in the history of the Bacon Academy football program.
Yes.
This is not the biggest game in the history of the Ledyard High School football program. In fact, you could argue that Ledyard has had multiple games bigger than this in the past few years, and that experience is something that we're going to talk about as we head into the game, what does it matter for the team that's been there before versus the team where this is all brand new?
Nah, it should play. Coach, Coach Budicourt told us the other night. This is not my first rodeo, guys. That's a quote right from the coach's mouth. We're taking time here real quick at Bill Mignault Field here in Ledyard, Connecticut. We're getting ready for the start of the national anthem, Casey. And with that, we will go to it. That is your national anthem here at Ledyard High School in a rain-soaked evening in Ledyard, Connecticut. Bill Mignault Field. Bacon Academy dressed in the white tops with the blue pants. Their home team, the Ledyard Colonels, with their dark, dark blue tops and their gold pants. And I can guarantee you right now, the voice of sports in southeastern Connecticut, Mr. Casey O'Neill, can see the numbers very well tonight. Casey?
All right, Sports Doctor. Very excited here. Now, we are in a rainy, cold, chilly December 1st day here at Ledyard High School. Bacon Academy in the beautiful blue bottoms and white tops, as you mentioned, with that signature gold helmet. The middle of the field here tonight is very wet. Puddles on both the 40 to 30-yard line on both sides of the field. The sidelines, very, very wet. The cheerleaders soaking wet. The players soaking wet. Not a comfortable day. Football weather, to be sure. Now, Bacon is going to receive the opening kickoff. Ledyard will kick off, of course. The aforementioned Luke Saccone, Mr. Johnny on the spot, who does it all, will be kicking off. Ledyard going left to right, so Bacon will be going right to left when they first receive the ball.
I would venture to say midway through the first quarter, the middle of the field could be a quagmire.
Excellent word. An excellent word. A quagmire will be. It's going to be muddy and a lot of fun.
I've studied up with you today. I've been trying to. You're getting me. You're bringing out my A game tonight, Case.
Gazibwe and Chassie, the two big playmakers for Bacon Academy, stand at their own 10-yard line. Sloppy field means sloppy football. Saccone with a little dribbler, and it's immediately covered right up by Mish Piper. Mish Piper will cover it at the 35-yard line. So Ledyard not kicking deep to the speed guys of Bacon. Instead, a kick like that can cause often a lot of problems. So nice job by Piper just to fall on the football.
Well, we're going to see those clean white uniforms for Bacon get dirtied pretty quick, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Casey, they bring their team out with quarterback Sean Kelly, and we're ready to go for some football here tonight.
So Bacon will come out right away. Gazibwe will be the lone setback. Kelly is going to have to, they're going to have Mish Piper as the fullback. So Bacon coming out, going in a power I, something we never see from them, with Gazibwe and Piper as the fullback. Handoff goes to Gazibwe off of right end. Gazibwe tries to cut it up inside, breaks one tackle, and gains about 4 yards on first down. So a different look for Bacon Academy.
Yeah, and the patience of Peter Gazibwe here, we've seen him run all year long. He's a kid that likes to pick and choose his spots, Casey, and he gets a little bit of spot, he will hit the hole. And he'll need those patience with a muddy field like it is tonight.
Gain of 6 on first down is going to bring up 2nd and 4. Ball right on the Bacon Academy 40-yard line. Now they go to that spread offense. Trips left. Gazibwe's the lone setback in the shotgun with Sean Kelly. Kelly barking out signals. Ledyard creeping up. Handoff goes to Gazibwe straight up the middle. He's going to have a first down and maybe a couple more. Colin Krauth in there on the stop for Ledyard along with Manny DeShield Santabria, but a first down for Bacon Academy.
Too deep zone that time by the Ledyard Colonel defense. They're sagging off the line of scrimmage. The linebackers are well back when Bacon went to that spread offense that time. So once Gazibwe stepped through that hole, Casey, there was some running room for him.
Bolden and Roediger are the splits left. Gazibwe is in the backfield with Kelly. Chassie split right for the Bobcats. Kelly, shotgun, straight drop, looks to throw over the middle, and it's caught and then dropped by Paul Chassie, and he had a lot of daylight. Paul Chassie, but that slick football went right through the normally sure hands of their playmaker.
And again, the underneath stuff in the first game when they played Ledyard a few weeks back, Casey, was there. And that's how they exposed Ledyard's defense a little bit. That time Chassie was open, just couldn't corral it.
Bolden split left, Narlock split right now for the Bobcats. They're going to have a dual backfield, Gazibwe and Piper. Kelly from the shotgun. Kelly hands the ball off to Gazibwe. Not much there. Cuts it back up into the middle of the field, and he's brought down by Daggett. And Whipple after maybe a gain of 2. So it's going to be 3rd and 6. First third down as the Bobcats cross over into Ledyard territory at the Ledyard 49.
Yeah, very important for the big people up front, for the Ledyard Colonels to establish the line of scrimmage, Casey, not get pushed back. Very nice job that time on second down.
Narlock, Bolden, and Chassie are the trips left. Roediger goes wide right for Bacon, and on the right side of Sean Kelly is Peter Gazibwe. Kelly will operate out of the shotgun on this 3rd and 8. Kelly, straight drop, no pressure, plenty of time, throws over the middle, and it's complete for a first down all the way up to the 32-yard line. That looks like Roediger. We'll see who the actual... And he's down on the field after a first down, so they're attending to him, and it'll be another first down, but a nice throw by Kelly.
Yeah, easy pitch and catch that time. No pressure on Sean Kelly. 3-step drop, Casey, and delivered as Roediger took an inside route that time. Bit of a post into a slant route that time, and a nice pickup on third down by the Bobcat offense.
You know, the Bobcats come into this game relatively healthy. We saw them on Thanksgiving Day, actually not on Thanksgiving Day, but the NFA game, dropping like flies from cramps and a hamstring pull, and they had one of their receivers, Tyler Bolden, pull a hamstring. But through the work of a chiropractic
one of your guys.
Physical therapy. Tony Tote.
One of your guys up there.
Tony Tote is the physical therapist to the stars out there in Colchester. And but Coach Larka was very clear that Tony's influence was very important in keeping the Bacon Academy kids healthy.
He said for week 11, week 12 in the high school football season, we are relatively healthy, and that's a good sign for the Bobcats.
It will be a first down for Bacon with 10:14 remaining in the first period on the opening drive. Roediger is helped off the field with the assistance of some coaches. They'll attend to him on the sidelines. Bacon goes back to their original set, the power I. Gazibwe is the tailback, and Mish Piper is the fullback. Kelly's going to be under center. Bacon on first down. Hand off to Gazibwe, and he's tripped up in the backfield by Daggett. Behind the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a loss of 2 as Tanner Daggett makes his impact known here, shooting into the backfield and getting to Gazibwe.
Yeah, there you go. The big people up front for Ledyard. That time Daggett took care of the center, threw him off to the side, and disrupted that play. And listen, Bacon looks to me, Casey, they're starting this game off very, very patient on the offensive side of the ball.
Narlock wide right, Chassie, Bolden, and Jason Geary all trips left for Bacon Academy. Gazibwe is the lone set. Kelly from the shotgun, straight drop, pressured, rolled right, pressured again, looking, we're going to get a hold, throws it downfield, looking for Geary, and it's complete at the 10, inside to the 2-yard line. A big pass play, but it's all going to come back. I think we're going to have a hold out on the edge while the Bacon Academy Bobcats were trying to protect Sean Kelly, and that's going to bring it back, but a huge play that time. The first time Kelly was pressured and not rattled at all.
Yeah, and on that play, Sean Kelly was looking underneath, and Manny the Shield Sanabria stepped back from his linebacker position, did a nice job in coverage. Flush Kelly had to look on the other side of the field and found Geary, but it obviously negated with a holding play, so some good underneath defensive adjustments that time by the Ledyard defense.
Ledyard's got to be concerned. One of the things that they have struggled with is defending the pass against multiple receivers and spread like that. And that's the big play that's beaten them up a little bit, and that was one that was right there. If it weren't for the hold, that would have been 1st and goal for Bacon. Instead, it's going to be 2nd and long. They're going to back the football up almost a midfield back to the 49-yard line of Ledyard. So Bacon is going to have 2nd and 28. Yeah, 2nd and 28. This is an incredibly long situation. We'll see what the Bobcats do. They're going to come 5 wide, empty backfield. Gazibwe, Bolden, Narlock, and Geary are all wide left. No one in the backfield with Sean Kelly. Kelly all by himself. He's getting a blitz from Krauth. Kelly steps up, and they're going to get to him after a gain of 2. Colin Krauth on a free shot came in and got to Sean Kelly.
Yeah, and that was a one-man route. They had 4 receivers down to the bottom of the formation, and Kelly was locked in at the receiver up top. And a nice job that time by Sanabria, guarding him out of the line of scrimmage, Casey. So far, I like what I'm seeing out of the Ledyard defense. They're doing a good job making the adjustments against the Bacon receivers.
Ryan Lynch comes into the game at a nickelback for Ledyard here as Bacon's got 3rd and a country mile. Split left, 2 right for the Bobcats. Gazibwe is the lone setback. Kelly out of the shotgun on 3rd and 30. Kelly, with time, pressured, steps up. Kelly's going to keep it himself. He's got some room. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, about the 30-yard line, and he's run out of bounds there, and it's going to bring up 4th and 10. But from the 30-yard line, I think you're going to see Bacon Academy go for it.
You just might well there. Some real good downfield coverage that time by the Ledyard secondary. Kelly stepped up, felt the pressure, and that hole underneath Casey's wide open on that play. And I would go for it. Why not?
Leandri comes back into the ball game for Ledyard, and Lynch comes out. So Ledyard's going to try to put some pressure on Kelly this time, going away from coverage. Bolden and Chassis wide left. Gazibwe heads out of the backfield now. Kelly's by himself in the backfield. From the shotgun, Kelly, straight drop. Has time, pressured, and down he goes. Sacked. Sean Kelly at the 40-yard line by big Matthew Nova. Turnover on downs, and worse than that, a loss of 10, so Ledyard's going to have good field position at their own 40-yard line.
Coverage sack that time by the Ledyard defense. All the people in the secondary stayed at home that time. Colonels made the adjustments, did some nice jobs in the defensive backfield in the secondary, and the big people up front finished the job. Very good defensive stand there by the Ledyard Colonels, Casey.
So we'll see what's going to happen here for the first possession of the Ledyard Colonels. A completely different offense than what these Bobcats saw in the first game of the year. 8-17, no score after a long Bacon opening possession. From the double wing, Daggett is up close to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be tough to see who has the ball. It's going to be Saccone off of the right edge, and nothing there. Nice job penetrating by Lindo off of the end for Bacon Academy, along with Zach Hill, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, back-end pursuit that time by the Bacon Academy Bobcat defense. Casey following Saccone down the line. It's going to be tough running up there, and if people at home don't know what the double wing looks like, it almost looks like a fist. All the players all just bunched up in a fist. It's just a very interesting style of offense.
Carter comes into the ball game replacing Daggett. So Carter is the fullback up close to Shield, Sanabria, and Saccone are on the wings. Ebden under center. Ebden hands off up the middle to Carter. Carter breaks a tackle, but can't get much past the line of scrimmage. Up to help on the tackle is John Michael Murray and Mish Piper. So that's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Bobcats.
Yeah, 11 players in the box for the Bacon Academy Bobcats as they are just selling out to stuff the run. That time Carter tried to get his feet going over the left-hand side. 3rd down and 7 down in distance for the Ledyard Colonels, but make no bones about it. Bacon is coming in and selling out for the run. They have 10, 11 guys in the box.
Right now, I'm wishing everyone out there probably had an umbrella right now. 3rd and long, pitch to DeShield Sanabria. Sanabria breaks a tackle, all heart, and he's going to get a first down. Manny DeShield Sanabria all on his own that time, carrying 3 Ledyard Colonels offensive players and 3 Bacon Academy defensive players into Bacon territory, and a big first down on 3rd down. Right now, I'm just picturing being on the sideline, twirling an umbrella. Would you like to be down there twirling an umbrella?
Is Mike Tomorrow down on the sidelines yet?
If he is, he'd be twirling an umbrella. Moves you haven't even seen, he can do with an umbrella.
Tough inside run that time by the Colonels to pick up the first down, Casey. Right at midfield.
1st and 10, right at midfield for Ledyard. Ebden under center. This time it's DeShield Sanabria off the left edge. He breaks a tackle, gets into the open. It's a foot race. Manny DeShield Sanabria is going to score a Ledyard touchdown. Manny DeShield Sanabria, 50 yards. Ledyard 6, Bacon nothing.
That's just Manny being Manny. Bouncing that thing to the outside and taking it to the house for 6 points for the Ledyard Colonels. Great defensive stand. Come out and get the ball, and they just did their thing there. Kind of caught the whole left-hand side of the Bacon Academy defense kind of off guard. They look very confused on where the ball's going out there, Case.
A guy like DeShield Sanabria, everybody wants, nobody has.
Guys, very tough runner, very patient, bouncing to the outside and turn the speed on.
50 yards, touchdown, and first points to the Colonels. Saccone in for the extra point. Snap is good. Hold gets down, and Saccone drives the extra point through. So with 6:28 remaining in the first period, your score, Ledyard 7, Bacon Academy, nothing.
You know, Casey, when we talked to Coach Eric Locker on Sunday night, too, that basically he said, our offense is our offense. We have spent 95% of our free time looking at film and preparing for the double wing tee, and we've spent 95% of our time in practice working on defensive strategy. And right now, so far, it looks like in the first couple plays, you know, Manny had a big third down conversion. It looks like they're a little bit confused out there and where the ball's going.
Well, that was the key on that first drive. Was the third down play where DeShields Santabria just got a first down.
Yeah, kept it alive,
Nothing but will. And then that play there, the speed to the outside, the power that time. And he's a great kid, too, by the way. For anybody who doesn't know Manny DeShields Santabria, one of the great parts of game day has been our opportunity to get to know a lot of the kids that play football here in the ECC. And he's a great kid from a great family. And a lot of these kids out here, you know, they've been working hard all year trying to, and this is the ultimate quest now. It's win or go home as you're trying for the Class M state championship here in the CIAC. There are other games going on in Class M, and we're going to talk to you some more about them and why I would rather be anyone but Stratford right now. We'll talk to you why. 6:28 remaining. Ledyard to kick off after the 50-yard DeShields Santabria touchdown. Saccone will come in. The ball is spotted at a very wet 40-yard line right in the middle of a puddle. Chassis and Gazibwe back deep, but it's going to be a punch kick squib. And it comes down again to Piper, and he's going to fall on it like he did with the opening kickoff, this time at the 35-yard line. So, Keith, in Class M, Ledyard here hosting Bacon Academy is not even the shortest trip because in Danbury, Immaculate Abbott Tech is hosting Brookfield, and Brookfield only had to travel 9 miles.
9 miles.
Get that one, a little jaunt.
Yeah.
You know, New Fairfield only had
That's
to travel.
That's an easy bus ride.
It is. New Fairfield only had to travel 30 miles to host. St. Joseph's only had to go 30 miles. But Stratford had to go 2 hours plus into the north corner of the state to play Killingly on a rainy night. And they're going to get Austin Caffrey about 80 times tonight.
We've taken that trip ourselves.
1st and 10 Bobcats. Kelly under center from the shotgun. Pressured. Steps up. Rotating. He's got it in the arms of Krauth, and down he goes. Daggett and Krauth combining for another sack. And the Colonels have been great on this coverage of the Bacon Academy offense.
Yeah, and the roles of Krauth and Johnson are magnified during this game, Casey, because of the fact that they can either A, rush the passer, or B, drop back in coverage. And that time you saw Krauth in a straight power rush from the outside, taken down, and you got a hold of Kelly and didn't let him go.
Krauth is down on the field right now, and they're going to attend to him right now. He is favoring his leg. They're down on the field favoring him right now, and that's an opportunity for me to tell you that one of the sponsors tonight is the Science and Technology Magnet School of Southeastern Connecticut. It's the region's leading STEM-themed school. The nationally recognized magnet program prepares students to succeed not just during their 4 years of high school, but for the future beyond the magnet school. You can transform your passion for science, technology, engineering, or math to reality at STMHS. They're now accepting applications for next school year. Learn more and apply online at nlstmh.org. That's nlstmhs.org.
Yeah, so far, Casey, the early storyline in this game for the Ledyard Colonel defense is their coverage in the secondary. Kelly's had to look at his first, second, and sometimes his third options out there in the field. And when that happens, that gives the people up front for Ledyard time to get pressure on him. Very, very important for Ledyard to keep that up in this game.
Bacon's going to have to find a way to block Ledyard. Krauth is out of the game for this play, and it's going to be a 2nd and 15 ball at the 30-yard line for Bacon. Kelly in an empty backfield by himself out there. Trips right, twins left, and we have a timeout on the field. Officials timeout. They're going to move the football. See what they want to do. It's an officials timeout. Respot and reset. Kelly's got trips right. He's got Gazibwe and Chassis to the bottom of the screen. He is all by himself in the backfield. Kelly, with some time, throws deep over the middle, and it's incomplete. He had Chassis running open at the 50-yard line, but good coverage on the play by Jeffrey O'Hanlon, and that's one of the linebackers of Ledyard.
Yeah, and that ball was rushed a little bit that time by Kelly. He was definitely aware of that Ledyard defense up front. He had a man open down the field, rushed it just a little bit, threw it out in front of him about 4 or 5 steps, Case.
3rd and 15. Ball is spotted right around the 35-yard line of Bacon Academy.
And this is, obviously, Casey, this is the most chewed up and most torn up part of the field right here where they're at right now.
Yeah, going to be very difficult
Tough for footing.
To plant there for Kelly. He's got Gazibwe in the backfield with him. Twins left, twins right for the Bobcats on 3rd and 15. 5:37 remaining here in period number 1. Kelly has Gazibwe on his right from the shot. Drop back. Kelly, pressured, throws down the sidelines, looking for Chassis. Incomplete at midfield. No flags. Max Ebden on the coverage for Ledyard, and that's going to be 4th down, and the Bobcats are going to have to punt.
Yeah, and what Kelly's have to do right now is he is looking outside to everything now on his pass patterns, because the underneath stuff that really hurt Ledyard in the first game has been sealed up very nicely by the defense. So Ledyard has made the adjustments. So far, early going in this game, Kelly is, 1 for 4 for 14 yards and 2 sacks on the day for the Ledyard Colonel defense halfway through this first quarter.
You know, when we saw Bacon Academy earlier in the year, a lot of short passes, passes into the flat, a lot of little bubble screens. We haven't seen any of that. It's almost like the New Orleans Saints. They're trying to open it up and go down the field instead of those little bubble screens that we saw in the past.
Right.
That snap, Narlock is going to be falling down on at the 10-yard line. A huge play in this game. A bad snap by the Bacon Academy center, the long snapper, and it's going to be recovered at the 10-yard line, but it's going to be first and maybe goal for the Colonels.
Again, in some of these things, you've got to take care of the football here, Casey. And that time we saw it blow up in Bacon's face a little bit. Tough position to put your defense in, down 7-0 already.
Bacon has had problems with long snaps. We saw it in their game against NFA. It cost them there. They have struggled with they're on their 3rd long snapper of the season. 5:24 remaining. Ledyard on top, 7-0 with the ball. 1st and 10. Ball marked. 1st and goal. Ball marked to the 9-yard line. Quarterback keeper for Ebden. He puts his head down and drives forward, and he's going to get all the way inside the 5-yard line. So Ty Ebden on a quarterback keeper is going to set up 2nd and goal for Ledyard inside the 5.
Huge surge that time by the Ledyard offensive line. Straight power football, quarterback keeper. Don't have to worry about handing the ball off or anything there, Casey. No mistakes. And that Ledyard offensive line just moving bodies on that play.
Under 5 minutes to go. Ledyard on top, 7-0. 2nd and goal, Ledyard at the Bacon Academy 4-yard line. Carter's in the backfield. Ebden under center. Ebden, straight drop. Pitches to DeShields Santabria. DeShields Santabria, touchdown! Ledyard Colonels, Manny DeShields Santabria with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And that time, Manny just kind of walked into the end zone that time. 3 carries, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first 6.5 minutes of the game for Manny DeShields Santabria. Big time work being done on that short drive by the Ledyard offensive line, Casey. And there you go. Bacon made the mistake, and Ledyard made him pay.
Capitalizing off of the botched punt, and Saccone comes in to kick the extra point out of the hold of quarterback Ty Ebden. Snap. Good. Hold. Good. Kick down, and it is up, and it is through. And with 4:44 remaining in the first period, 14-0 Ledyard. It could not have started any better for the Colonels.
Well, in a game like this, too, with the weather the way it is, it's so important to take care of the football and not make the mistakes. And that time you saw a mistake made, and Ledyard capitalizes it. And that's what a veteran team does.
So Bacon is going to have to respond. And this is what we talked about for a team that has never been there before.
Oh, they're swimming in the deep end now, Casey. They're down 14-0 on the road in a state playoff game.
And it's not just that; it's against a team that they know is playing well, a team that they know is a quality team in Class M. This is the kind. I'll tell you right now. If I knew I had to play Ledyard, it would give me insomnia. It really would. It would give me absolute insomnia.
Yeah, obviously they're a well-coached, well-schooled team, and and you're coming back and you've already beaten them once this year. Now you're on the road a little bit of a different setting, and you never know. Kids are kids. It could be a little bit intimidating out there for them, but so far Ledyard has done the things that they needed to do on the field, Casey, to be successful.
Well, Ledyard is rolling right now for sure. 4:44 remaining in period number 1, and Ledyard up 14-0. Gazibwe and Chassis back deep, but so far Saccone has done 2 squib kicks for the Colonels. Approaches the ball at the 40, and it is another squib kick, and for the 3rd time, Mish Piper takes it, but this time he's going to try to return. Piper brought down almost immediately. Nice coverage that time by Austin Brandt, and it'll be first down Bacon at their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, and once again, Bacon is in that worst part of the field as far as footing and stuff like that goes. Folks, the middle of this field is extremely, extremely muddy and wet, and right around on where the side is, where Bacon is now, about the 30 to 40-yard line, it is just an absolute slop fest down there, Casey.
Yeah,
and I'm sure your guy, Tanner Daggett, likes it that way.
Absolutely. Got to like the Hogs. The Hogs like it in the slop, but they're going to have to get about 10 yards to get out of that wet field, are the Bobcats. Twins left. Bolden is the wide out to the right. Handoff goes to Gazibwe off of right tackle. Gazibwe, nothing there. Stacked up after a gain of perhaps a yard. Leandri and Daggett coming off the bottom of the pile. And more importantly for Ledyard, Colin Krauth, though limping, he had the ankle taped, but Krauth is back into the ball game for the Colonels.
Yeah, and it's very important for the Ledyard Colonel defensive line to step up and make some plays. Their linebackers are sagging back in coverage when Bacon spreads the field out. So if Gazibwe can find a seam and find a crease, there's room for him to run. But credit that defensive line for the Colonels right now, sealing things up front. The big boys, Tanner Daggett and his wrecking crew.
Narlock wide right. Bolden wide left. Gazibwe in the backfield with Kelly. Kelly, straight drop. Looking over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Matt Seacard out of the backfield, but Seacard didn't turn around, and it's going to be 3rd and long. And I liked Bacon Academy running it on 1st down. I really believe that we should be seeing 3 hands-offs to Peter Gazibwe to try to get them from out of this sloppy area.
Yeah, there's a holding penalty on the field, too, on Bacon Academy Bobcats, and a bit of a delayed blitz that time by the Ledyard defense, kind of threw the timing off of the pattern, and Bacon right now is... They're on a slippery slope right now. Looks like Ledyard will take that penalty, Casey.
So it's going to bring up a 2nd and long. Back in the wrong direction again are the Bacon Academy Bobcats. After a promising opening drive where they hit a couple of good plays and got a couple of 1st downs,
yeah.
A big holding penalty on a 40-yard pass got them into some trouble. They turned it over on downs, and then the second possession, a botched punt, and they have not been able to figure out how to stop Manny DeShields Santa Bria. 14-0 Ledyard with 3:49 remaining in the first period. 2nd and 20 for Bacon. Ball is marked at about the 25-yard line of the Bobcats. Twin receivers right and left for Bacon. Kelly is in the shotgun. Kelly, straight drop. Kelly sets up a screen to Gazibwe, and it's read immediately. Great job that time by DeShields Santa Bria from his end position, wrapping up Gazibwe for no gain. They were trying to let him through and get the screen to Gazibwe, but he wasn't fooling DeShields Santa Bria.
Yeah, that entire linebacking core right now for the Ledyard Colonels, very active out there. Johnson, Santa Bria, and Colin Krauth, Casey, they're rushing the quarterback. They're dropping back into coverage. Linebackers playing very well.
Chassie and Bolden come out wide left. Gazibwe is in the backfield with Kelly. Twins right, Narlock and Roediger. Kelly from the shotgun. Calling out signals. Ledyard looking to provide some pressure. Kelly trying to draw him off. Tough snap. Kelly pressured. Stepped up. He's going to keep it. Kelly's got some room. He's at the 40 and puts his head down about a yard short of the 1st down. Nice effort by Sean Kelly getting the ball up to the 43-yard line. And I think you're Bacon Academy. You got to go.
Yeah, might have to here on 4th down and 1. That time Johnson came up to the line of scrimmage that time for Bacon and kind of negated the middle of the field as he was selling out on a little bit of a blitz there. And Kelly tucked and run and got 17, Casey, when he needed about 19.
It's going to bring up 4th and 2. Ball is at the 43-yard line of the Bobcats. Huge play here for the Bacon offense to try to keep them in this thing. 2:28 remaining in the first period. Ledyard brings everybody up to the line of scrimmage. Power I for the Bobcats. Kelly under center. Hands off to the fullback, Mish Piper. And I think Piper is going to have the 1st down. Nice job by the offensive line of Bacon, and Mish Piper, the fullback, got 3 when he needed 2.5.
Yeah, straight power football that time by the Bobcats as the official points 1st down. This officiating crew is from the Fairfield County area, so neither one of these teams have seen these refs and vice versa.
They had the 2nd longest drive of anyone today.
Yeah, outside of the kids from Stratford.
That's right.
You're still on that.
I am.
Yeah, all right.
1st and 10 Bacon with a huge 1st down to keep this drive going. 2:20 remaining in the first period. Ledyard 14, Bacon nothing. Bobcats with the football, and they're out of the muck, which is more important than anything else. Kelly stands at his own 40-yard line. He's got trips right. Kelly gives it to Gazibwe. Gazibwe straight up the middle. He's got some room. Breaks a tackle. Gets in the open. 1st down before he's driven back. But Peter Gazibwe with a great run on 1st down for the Bobcats. Justin Carter finally drove him out of bounds, but not until Gazibwe crossed all the way to the 43-yard line of Ledyard. 1st down, Bobcat.
There we saw the trifecta of Peter Gazibwe. We saw patience, we saw speed, and we saw a little bit of power, and that's what he brings to the table as that running back there, Casey. Patient that time, stepped to the line, burst through, and then finished the run.
Bolden goes wide left. Chassie goes out right with Narlock. Going to have twins in the backfield with Gazibwe. Kelly in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Kelly looks out in the flat. Instead, throws down on a seam. Oh, and he had Bolden, who got tangled up in the route with James Smith, but they're going to say inadvertent contact, and that's a shame because Bolden had a step on Smith, but he tripped up in the legs, and it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, one-on-one on the bottom part of your screen. the bottom part of the formation, and Bolden had a step. He did.
Bolden's a speed guy, and of course, James Smith, only a freshman. Little Ziti, they call him, son of assistant coach Pasta Sanabria. But Smith, only a freshman, and he was single coverage out time with Bolden.
Yeah, all these DBs for Ledyard out there in one-on-one coverage.
Narlock wide right. Chassis and Bolden at the bottom of your screen. Kelly's in the shotgun with Gazibwe in the backfield. Kelly going to throw it again. Pressured. Throws a laser beam, and it's caught by Narlock for a first down at the 30-yard line. That ball had some zip on it.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered for the Bacon Academy Bobcats. 3 first downs in this drive. Flipping field position with about a minute and a half left to go. A nice put-together drive by Bacon Academy here. They went for it on a 4th down and short. Picked it up, moving the chains forward. Casey, they need a score here.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Trips left now for Bacon Academy. Kelly hands the ball to Gazibwe straight up the middle. Gazibwe is going to have about 3 yards off a left tackle before Daggett wraps him up. He's going to get about 3 as we're down to 1:15 remaining here in the first period. Ledyard on top, 14-0. 2nd and 7 for the Bobcats.
And that's the added luxury that Bacon does have with the Peter Gazibwe, because he can carry it out of the backfield. He can go out and catch it. I mean, he is their X factor on the field, no matter where he is, Casey. If he's lined up in the backfield, if he's split wide right, he is the playmaker.
Bolden and Roediger wide left, Narlock and Chassis wide right. And we're going to have a timeout on the field. Timeout Ledyard with 47 seconds remaining in period number 1. The M.J. Sullivan Automotive Corner. M.J. Sullivan Hyundai, where no money down means no money down. You can lease a 2015 Hyundai Sonata Sport for no money down and only $279 a month for 36 months. They'll pay your first payment. They'll pay your upfront sales tax. They'll even pay your registration and dealer conveyance fees. That's right. You pay $0 down and only $279 a month for a 2015 Hyundai Sonata Sport. Only at M.J. Sullivan Hyundai, corner of Broad and Coleman Street in New London. You can see the entire inventory at mjsullivanauto.com.
So how would you like to be playing in a game down there like that today? Would you encourage it? Is this the type of weather that Casey O'Neill likes to play in? Or do you want to... I mean, I was talking to the refs down on the field before the game, and they're not used to the grass. They're all used to turf fields in the other end of the state. I mean, is this Casey O'Neill football field type of... this where you want to be?
Casey O'Neill High School would have said
sure.
No, would have wanted no part of this.
Okay.
I would have wanted it to be a nice, sunny, crisp day.
Oh, all right.
Because I was thin and athletic, fleet of foot.
All righty.
Casey O'Neill circa 2015 can't go 6 feet left and right, so I just want to wallow in the mud. I want to tan a Daggett it down there.
Go.
I would just be taking up space right now.
Sure.
1st and 10, Bacon from the 32 to make that the 27-yard line of Ledyard. Kelly from the shotgun. Kelly, pressured, steps up, nowhere to throw, spins, can't get out of the grasp, and he's finally sacked by Daggett and Carter at the 35-yard line. So not a huge loss, but it is going to bring up 3rd and long for the Bobcats.
Coverage sack that time once again by the Ledyard big people up front. Sean Kelly looking through his 1st, 2nd, 3rd progression. Nothing there. Tried to step up that time, Casey. Nowhere to go. Nice job by the Ledyard linebacking core. And you mentioned some of the names, Trouth and Johnson out there, and Daggett making plays.
Let's call it 3rd and 12.
The big play.
From the 35-yard line, 5 receivers, empty backfield. Kelly's by himself, pressured by Trouth. Steps up. Kelly throws on the run. He's got a man just short of the first down. It's going to be short. He's got Narlock. They're going to mark Narlock right at the first down marker at the 21-yard line as the first quarter comes to an end. But depending on the spot, it's either going to be a first down Bacon Academy or it's going to be 4th and inches. We'll see where the spot is. He needed to get just over the 30-yard line.
They're going to give him the first down.
Just over the 20-yard line, and I think he's got it, yeah.
4 for 8 for 39 yards in the first quarter for Sean Kelly, and he showed the cool calmness of a senior quarterback that time, stepping up and delivering a strike on the outside for the Bobcats. And this is just what Bacon needed. Down 14-0, Casey. Put something together, get the ball moving in the right direction. Nice drive put together by the Bobcats.
Colin Trouth had the pressure, but Kelly stepped up. Now, Trouth hampered a little bit by that ankle. Maybe couldn't get there quite as quickly as he could earlier. Now Bacon's got to go down into the other side of the field. They're now going to be going left to right, and they got to go into
the mud. Back in the
again.
quagmire, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see here what kind of play calling that Bacon does. But they got to feel good about themselves, Casey. They're down 14-0, but on the road, the senior quarterback, with Sean Kelly, they went for it on 4th down, picked it up, and they seem to have things moving in the right direction.
Second quarter is brought to you by the Science and Technology Magnet School of Southeastern Connecticut, the region's leading STEM-themed school. The nationally recognized Magnet program prepares students not to succeed just during their 4 years of high school, but for a future beyond the Magnet School. Transform your passion for science, technology, engineering, or math to reality at STMHS. They are now accepting applications for next school year. You can learn more and apply online at nlstmhs.org.
A lot of the uniforms out there, Casey, getting pretty muddy. It's tough to see Big Tanner Daggett, his pants and his shirt.
Bacon, 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line, make it the 20-yard line. Handoff goes to Gazibwe. Gazibwe breaks a tackle. Gazibwe's got a seam. Gazibwe's trying to get to the end zone, dives, puts the ball down. It's fumbled, and the official's going to say he's down on the goal line. Right on the goal line. The official right on it, right away, marked it, put the spot down, but it's going to be 1st and goal Bacon from the goal line.
Again, the speed, power, patient running combination of Peter Gazibwe bounced out to the right-hand side. Give credit that time to the Bacon offensive line, Casey. They opened up a hole that you could have ran through on that play. Nice job there by the offensive guys up front.
14-0, Ledyard on top, but Bacon Academy knocking on touchdown's door. Now right here at a half-yard line, they're going to go from the power I. Gazibwe in the tailback. Mish Piper is the fullback, and Kelly is going to go under center. Kelly hands off to Gazibwe. Gazibwe puts his shoulders down, spins, and he's into the end zone for a Bacon Academy touchdown. Peter Gazibwe from half a yard out.
He's been the heart and soul of that team all year long, Peter Gazibwe, and that time he kind of took matters in his own hands, Casey. A couple of big runs and a couple of third-down conversions, and Bacon is right back in this game on the road, down 14-6, waiting on the extra point.
So C-Card will come into the game for Bacon, but they have struggled all year long with extra points. We'll see. They could conceivably go for 2 every time they have the ball. So we're going to see what happens here. They're just keeping their offense on the field right now. Now, there we go. Now Chassie's going to go down to hold it, but from the left hash. So Chassie will hold it for the Bobcats. Snap awaiting. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is up, and it's blocked.
There you go.
Ryan Lynch, the senior, shot the gap to block it that time. And that's a big extra point, 14-6, with 11:28 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, there you go. A muff punt earlier in the first quarter, and then a blocked extra point right there. The difference in this ballgame, 14-6, Casey. A couple of key mistakes, and you've talked about the kicking game and the extra point conversion being a little bit sketchy and a little bit suspect for the Bobcats all year long. It cost them a point there.
Now, the winner of this ball game is going to play the winner of the New Fairfield St. Joseph's of Trumbull game. New Fairfield, the 2 seed, but I think everybody feels that the 7 seed, St. Joseph's, the defending champions, are a tough out in round 1 and very difficult for New Fairfield to have to play a team as good as St. Joseph's in the first round. In the bottom half of the bracket, the number 1 seed, the Killingly High School Redmen up there in Killingly, Connecticut, in the north corner of the state, are playing host to Stratford. We talked about that. Stratford needed 4 helicopters and a train to get to Killingly today.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
And they'll be playing the winner of the number 4 seed, Abbott Tech, Immaculate of Danbury, and Brookfield.
And just as we speak, Casey, New Fairfield is up 14-0 over St. Joe's, just starting the second quarter.
So in the kick, C-Card will kick it off for Bacon from the 40-yard line. Manny DeShield Santabria is the deep back for Ledyard. A low line drive kick bounces, and DeShield Santabria is going to pick it up, down, and take a knee. And so Ledyard is going to have tough field position inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
You got to be careful down there. That's a free ball on that kickoff. It's a live ball, and obviously the slippery field playing havoc, wreaking havoc. We saw it on a couple of the kicks by Ledyard to Bacon, and that time on a kickoff by Bacon to Ledyard.
Well, if if New Fairfield does win that football game, then whatever team wins this game has a hike come Monday.
Now, where is New Fairfield?
It's down by Fairfield, but it's the newer part of it. No, it's
All
near
right. There's some towns in the state of Connecticut I have no idea where they are. Like, where is there a town called Washington, Connecticut?
They filled up. Yes, there is. They filled up Fairfield, so they created New Fairfield.
It's kind of like New Hartford.
1st and 10. Ledyard from the 9. Handoff goes up the middle to Saccone, and Saccone is going to get about 5-6 yards. Actually, call that Justin Carter. Justin Carter. Right now, very difficult to see where the ball is. Ledyard is huddled close and in the muck, but a gain of 7 on first down for Carter as we're down to 11 minutes and 10 seconds.
Justin Carter was about a half a step away from a 90-yard touchdown run in that play, too. That was wide open for the Colonels. Safety came up for Bacon and made a nice play. Casey, that could have been It could have been a huge play by the Colonels.
DeShield, Sanabria, and Saccone are on the wings. Carter stays in the game as the fullback. Ebden under center. Ebden, handoff again. It goes up the middle to Carter. This time Carter breaks it in for a first down and more all the way up to the 30-yard line. Justin Carter before he's finally brought down by Gazibwe. And again, Carter was a step away from breaking it.
Well, what's happening right now, too, is Bacon Academy is selling out to stop the run. They've got 10, 11 bodies committed to the line of scrimmage. And if one of these backs can sneak through that line of scrimmage, and there is no second or third wave because they're all at the line. But Carter was, like I said, just an ankle tackle away from running 80 yards there.
Now, remember, last time they did this, it was Saccone running free down the middle of the field on a post pattern.
Right.
So we have to be, conscious of that.
Well, I mean, Coach Municor's got a script and a plan for pretty much everything. Run, pop you with the pass.
Mrs. Voice of Game Day has chimed in because she works everywhere in the state of Connecticut. She travels more than anyone I know, more than State Farm.
More than UPS guys?
More than State Farm. And she says New Fairfield is by New Milford near Sherman. How many of those places did you even know existed in the state of Connecticut?
Not many of them, and I deliver for UPS. I'm delivering the goods. I don't know. New Fairfield, you know what that is?
1st and 10, Ledyard Colonels. Ball at the 30-yard line, their own 30-yard line, in the tight double wing. DeShield, Sanabria, and Saccone are the wings. Carter is in the backfield. Handoff again goes to Carter. This time not much there. Gain of about half a yard. Roediger comes off the pile along with Big 74, Dylan Kornbrath. And it's going to be 2nd and 9 in the middle of the muck. Now, Ledyard has to operate in the mucky part of the field.
Yeah, the quagmire, as the sports doctor would call it. And Casey, nice job by the big people up front by Bacon Academy stuffing the run. And like I said, they're selling out. They've got everything but the kitchen sink at the line of scrimmage on defense. And Ledyard's going to stick with the run. That's what they do.
We are under 10 minutes remaining here. 2nd and long. Pitch goes on the outside to DeShield's Sanabria. And he's going to be up close to a first down off of left tackle. Manny DeShield, Sanabria, is a muddy mess right now. Have you ever seen the Robin Williams, Kurt Russell movie, The Best of Times?
No.
It's about a football game that was lost in high school. They replayed it again 30 years later. Robin Williams was the GOAT. He dropped the pass.
Boy.
They play it in the rain. It's like this. They're just all
like you.
straight.
Is that kind of like you and Lee Elsey out there?
It is. It is like me and Lee Elsey.
Jimmy Bunicor. Who else is out there?
Ebden on a quarterback keeper going to put his head down and get a first down before he's driven to the turf. Ty Ebden's going to have Ledyard out of the muck and a first down up over the 40-yard line to the 42. 9 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. 14-6, Ledyard on top. The Mrs. Voice of Game Day is in Westport right now. So she's in Westport listening to the game in Ledyard and telling us where New Fairfield is.
Yeah, I mean, boy, oh boy.
She can do it all.
Yeah, she is, boy, that whole family. You guys are all smart. Very educated. You traveled a little bit today, too, didn't you?
I did travel a little
Early
bit.
on.
I've seen a lot of the state today as well.
Oh, my goodness gracious. We do it for the love of the game, Casey O'Neill.
Carter is the lone setback. Saccone and DeShield, Sanabria are the wings, and we have a flag on the play. Coach Bunicor is pointing to the officials, and Ledyard is going to take a timeout. So 8:49 remaining here in the first half. Ledyard on top, 14-6. And you are listening to Game Day live on theday.com. Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, the stat guru, waiting for basketball season to start, the junior voice of Game Day with his Bobcat blue in his hair. And we are bringing you live CIAC playoff action.
You know, we talked to Jimmy Bunicor, Coach Bunicor, last night, and I mentioned it to him that maybe his best defense will be his offense. Control the tempo of the game, ball control, time of possession to keep that high-flying offense off the field for Bacon. If Coach Bunicor were to have his druthers right now, he'd have about a 16-play drive going about 8 minutes going in for a touchdown here before the half, case.
You know, certainly after he saw what was a very resilient Bacon Academy Bobcat team, we saw them be resilient in a huge comeback against Fitch.
Right.
We saw it with goal line stands against NFA. This Bobcat team is tough. They are resilient. They don't quit. And they certainly are going to stay in this thing for as long as possible. So, yes, after they just went down the field and got back in it, responding to the turnover and the quick Ledyard scores, now Ledyard wants to take the rest of the half if they could.
Yeah, 8-minute drive. Let's do it.
Drive it down. It's going to be 1st and 10. Ledyard just over the 40-yard line at their own 42. Carter is the lone set. DeShield, Sanabria, and Saccone in motion. DeShield, Sanabria. He gets the handoff off left edge, tries to cut it inside, and does, but can't quite get inside of Nick Provost. Gain of 3 on first down by DeShield, Sanabria.
A very nice job that time by Bacon Academy defense. Left to right side to side that time by the linebackers, stringing that play out and leaving Manny the Shield Santa Maria no cutback lane whatsoever that time for the Ledyard Cardinals case.
But even on a play that looked like it didn't go anywhere,
They
5
got 5
yards
yeah.
for DeShield Santa Maria. 8 minutes, 22 seconds remaining here in the first half, 14-6. Ledyard on top with the football at their own 46-yard line. In motion, DeShield Santa Maria, handoff up the middle to Carter. Carter cuts it back right to the first down marker off right tackle, and cleaned up by Julian Lindo, but he's going to be close to the first down. I think it's going to be third and very short. A Bobcat shaken up on the field. It's Seacard, but he's up and heading back to the huddle. Matt Seacard showing his toughness as he's banged up on the field. Third and about a half a yard. Ball just over the 50-yard line into Bacon Academy territory. Big play for both sides as we're 7:45 remaining here in the first half. Ebden going to keep it himself, push forward, and he's going to have the first down and more. Still driving all the way to the 40-yard line. Ty Ebden, the senior quarterback, right over the top of his center, and a huge first down on third and short. And Ledyard, which started this drive on their own 10-yard line, now has it at the Bacon Academy 40.
Yeah, Ledyard offensive line flexed a little muscle that time, Casey O'Neill. We talk about 4 yards in a cloud of dust. How about 4 yards in a pile of mud out there for the Ledyard Colonel offense?
First and 10 Colonels, and they're back in a different kind of muck now on the other side of the field at the 40-yard line of the Bobcats. 7:20 remaining in the first half.
Straight power football here by the Colonels.
Carter's in the backfield. Ebden hands off to DeShield Santa Maria. Santa Maria gets to the outside, gets out of Gazibwe's tackle and gains about 7 yards on first down. A little bit slippery that time for DeShield Santa Maria, and we've got an injured Colonel on the field. That's Justin Carter, and they're going to attend to him as we have 7:09 remaining here in the first half.
6 carries for 74 yards and 2 touchdowns for Manny so far in the first half. And young man can keep his legs moving. Very, very tough to bring down.
So we mentioned 14-0 last time St. Joseph's trailing New Fairfield. We'll try to get you the Killingly Stratford score when we get a moment, as well as the ATI Brookfield score. We'll try to get you scores throughout the course of this game.
Yeah, 10-7 Stratford right now. They lead Killingly on the road midway through the second quarter in that game. So we will get Mike tomorrow to work back there and keep us up to breast on all the scores, as he has got a Giants hat on, and that's okay.
Carter comes off the field. He looks to be okay, but he's going to take this play off. So big Tanner Daggett comes back into the ball game at fullback for Ledyard. The field is a mess. The players are full of mud. Nothing better for playoff football here in the CIAC Class M state playoff. First game, Ledyard here over Bacon. Pitch to DeShield Santa Maria, off left tackle, spins, gets close to a first down at the 22-yard line. It's going to be second and short, but DeShield Santa Maria ripping off chunks of yardage now with 8 on first down.
Yeah, big boy football right now for the Ledyard Colonel offense. Straight power football, running it right up the gut, using everything they have. And right now, KC2 Killingly now leads 14-10 in that game. I stand corrected.
Very
the
tough
scores
team.
keep coming in. They're flooding in up here in the booth.
I love that Killingly team, the toughness of Austin Caffrey, Spencer Lockwood. We enjoyed the game that we saw, putting a hurting on the Montville Indians up there earlier this year on game day. 2nd and 5. Ebden under center. Again, DeShield Santa Maria breaks a tackle, cut to the outside, spins, and almost breaks out of the tackle of Blakely, but couldn't quite break it. But it will be a first down, ball down to the 15-yard line of Bacon Academy.
Yeah, 8 carries for 101 yards now unofficially for Manny DeShield Santa Maria. And he is a key component to that game plan today, Casey O'Neill. And it looks like Coach Bunicor is sticking right to the game plan.
We haven't seen the throw, which we know is going to come at some point, but so far they haven't had to. They have just been running the football. Ebden under center. Can't see any of the numbers anymore because they are so muddy. In motion, DeShield Santa Maria. He gets it off the left end. He's got the corner and ridden out of bounds inside the 10-yard line at the 9 by Blakely. But it's going to be another big gain for DeShield Santa Maria.
And he is fired up out there. Coach, give me the rock. I will show you the way to the promised land. Casey, that's an excellent, excellent run out there by that young man.
They're going to mark the ball at the 7-yard line, where it will be 2nd and a yard, a gain of 9 on first down for DeShield Santa Maria. Bacon has not had any answers for this double wing of the Ledyard Colonels.
This has been an 82-yard drive thus far by the Ledyard Colonels.
5:25 remaining in the first half, 14-6 Ledyard. in motion to shield Sanabria. Handoff goes to Carter instead, and Justin Carter is going to waltz into the end zone. Touchdown, Ledyard Colonels.
Justin Carter, 9-yard touchdown run that time, and he was one of the guys I told you in the beginning of the game. Keep an eye out for that young man. He is 6 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown for Justin Carter, and Ledyard goes all the way down the field to answer a Bacon Academy score with a drive of their own, Casey. 90 yards, every single one of them on the ground. That offense right now is averaging 9 yards per carry for the game.
The lefty, Luke Saccone, comes in for the extra point. 20-6, Ledyard on top. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up, and it is through. And 5:13 remaining here in the first half. 21 for Ledyard, 6 for Bacon Academy. But with 5:13 remaining, Bacon Academy ideally goes down the field, tries to get points. But the worst-case scenario is a quick turnover on downs.
Yeah, I mean, they had Ledyard kind of right where they wanted, and they had a 14. They cut the lead to 14-6. You know, Ledyard was trapped all the way down to the 10-yard line. You know, and Ledyard just did their thing. They churned it out and churned it out and churned out a 90-yard drive, Casey. The ball has not been in the air yet for the Colonels, and they're averaging 9 yards a play.
5:13 remaining in the first half. It is raining a little less heavy than it was earlier, so the rain is more of an annoying drizzle right now. The field is still a hot mess in between the 30 and 40, certainly on the Ledyard side of things. But right now, the Ledyard Colonels feeling no pain right now, 21-6 on top of the Bacon Academy Bobcats. Bacon will receive the football. Gazibwe back deep along with Chassis. We have not seen Ledyard kick off deep to either one of them thus far. It's been 3 short kicks, and Mish Piper has returned all 3.
You know, and again, the battle cry from the Bacon Academy camp all week long is, you know, we've spent 90% of our time, our practice time, and our film study time on how to defend the double wing T. It's a very tough offense to defend, and especially when it's rolling downhill, the way this Ledyard offense has been, it seems like since week 4 or 5 of the season.
So efficient are the Ledyard Colonels right now.
Mistake-free.
Operating on all cylinders. Saccone, this time will kick off, and it'll come down to Chassis at his 15-yard line. Paul Chassis heads straight up the middle of the field, breaks a tackle, but can't break the next tackle. Nice job that time by Austin Brandt. We've called his name a couple of times, the junior on special teams. 1st and 10, Bacon will set up shop at the 27, 29-yard line.
Well, here you go. You got 5 minutes left to go before the half. You're down 21-6. You're on the road. Extremely important here for Bacon to put together a drive like they had last time with the ball, manufacture some points before the half.
1st and 10 Bobcats. They're going to come out. Wide right is going to be Chassis and Narlock. Gazibwe is going to be the only running back. Kelly will operate out of the shotgun. Gazibwe is to his right. Fake the handoff, and it goes instead to Gazibwe, straight up the middle. Gazibwe going to break a tackle and have a first down over the 40-yard line to the 41 before he's finally wrestled to the ground by Ryan Lynch, but a nice play on first down. A little delayed draw to Gazibwe, and it's first down Bacon at the 40.
Yeah, 9 carries for 59 yards for Peter Gazibwe. And that time, Casey, with the spread formation for Bacon, they kind of exposed the middle of the field that time. And the Ledyard defense, nice job by Gazibwe picking up positive yardage on first down.
Under 5 minutes, Kelly from the shotgun, 4 wide. Gazibwe is the lone setback to the right of Kelly. Kelly in the shotgun. Kelly, straight drop. Pump fake, goes deep down the sidelines, has a man incomplete. He was looking for, looks like Chassis, but incomplete at the 40-yard line. Ebden was out on the coverage along with Carter. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that time in a little hitch and go that time, that ball was severely underthrown by Kelly. I don't know if it slipped out of his hand or he couldn't get his footing down there on the quagmire in the middle of the field, but he was looking deep down there on the left side, just couldn't get the ball out there. The rain has slowed down here a little bit tonight, Casey, but the field conditions are very, very tricky.
Chassis now wide right. Narlock going to go out wide left along with Bolden. That pass was intended for Bolden. Bolden, Roediger, and Narlock wide left. Chassis wide right. Gazibwe in the backfield. Kelly from the shotgun. Kelly rolls left. Pressured. Going to his weak side. Looking for a man. Kelly stays in bounds and is knocked out of bounds. No receiver out that time. 5 Ledyard Colonels. I'm not sure what that play was. I think there was a miscommunication there on the Bacon offense.
Yeah, and it looks like, too, when Kelly's rolling out to his left like that, they almost Ledyard defense almost cut off an entire side of the field. And he had 2 guys out in the pattern, and they were both covered. It just made no sense. And there was nobody in space over there.
4:28 remaining here, and the clock running. in the first half. 21-6 Ledyard on top, and Bacon with a 3rd and 12.
Yeah, it's a big down.
With the ball at the 37-yard line. Twin receivers right. Gazibwe's the lone set. Kelly in the shotgun. Kelly, straight drop. Has time. Throws in the flat to Gazibwe. Over his head and incomplete, and he had room in front of him. Tough catch by Gazibwe. Was thrown a little bit behind him, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And the last time Bacon tried to punt, they botched the snap. We'll see what they do here. 4th and 12. I think they're going to have to try to punt it away.
Yeah, 4 for 10 so far for Kelly on the game, and that play was there. Gazibwe had some running room in front of him and just couldn't get the ball out there to the young man. So a huge stop for the Ledyard Colonel defense there on 3rd down. And they get the ball back, Casey, with about 4.5 to go here.
Very important. They are going to keep Narlock in the game to punt. Very important to make this a good snap. The previous snap was low, and Narlock couldn't handle it. And no one back to return the punt for Ledyard. This time it is a good snap. Narlock gets the punt off, and it's blocked. Blocked, and it rolls to the 50-yard line. That's a live ball. Ledyard falls on it at the 48-yard line. Max Ebden and Ledyard with great field position after the blocked punt.
Yeah, special teams right now, Casey. A blocked punt, a muff punt, and a blocked extra point. Right now, special teams going the Ledyard Colonel way. They will take over just on their side of the midfield at about 48-yard line. So with 4 minutes left to go, Casey, let's see what Ledyard does here with the ball. I would assume you're going to see a little more running.
I think you're going to see them run the ball. If they need to, they'll pull it out, and Ebden will throw the football. But Ledyard with a 21-6 lead and getting the ball in the second half, I don't think they're in urgency mode here to score, but I think they certainly would like to. Daggett is your fullback. Ebden to DeShield Santabria. Up the middle. He's got a space. One guy to beat, and Gazibwe saves the touchdown. Manny DeShield Santabria with another 11-yard gain. If he broke the Gazibwe tackle, he was off to the races. As it is, it's a first down Ledyard to the Bacon Academy 40.
Manny shot through that offensive line. A great job up front by the big people for Ledyard. And Manny, like you said, I mean, we've seen that a couple times in this game where shoestring tackles have saved touchdowns. There's some big plays to be made out there. And so far in this game, it looks like Bacon has struggled mightily with the double wing tee.
No answers thus far. Bacon Academy has shown no ability to stop this very efficient Ledyard offense. And just when you commit the extra guy, that's when Ty Ebden's going to take it out of the stomach of DeShield Santabria and throw it over the middle. But they haven't needed to throw the ball at all.
And again, this is almost like a different Ledyard offense that they've seen from week 3. I mean, they had to watch a lot of videotape, but you can't simulate this in practice. You can have people and you can try to simulate it. You can watch as much game, you can walk through as all you want. But until you have to get up there and defend it, and some of the misdirections and the offensive blocking line schemes, Casey, very tough to defend.
You know, I know the lay person sits there and says, how can you not defend this? All they're doing is the same thing over and over again.
It's tricky.
But it is so tricky because it's not the same thing. You've got DeShield, every time, you know, if you oversell to one side, then you cut it across to Saccone going the other direction. It's a big play offense out of the double wing. Hard to believe it's not 3 yards in a cloud of dust. A lot of big plays out of this Colonel offense. 1st and 10 Ledyard at the Bacon Academy 40. 4 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the first half. Colonels with a 21-6 lead, looking for more. Peter Gazibwe clapping for Bacon, trying to keep him in it. DeShield Santabria, this time he's bottled up. Great job out there. Mish Piper shot the gap and got to DeShield Santabria. Also in on the tackle for Bacon was Colin Brown. And it's going to be a gain, no gain at all. We're going to have an official's timeout as there is an injured Bobcat on the field.
Yeah, that time the linebacking core made the adjustments for Bacon Academy, stuffed some of the holes, and cut off the point of attack, as you would say, for the running game. That is number 2.
Senior Matt Seacard, who has been on the ground a bunch of times. He has got a really bad ankle right now, and he is hopping off the field right now with either ankle or hamstring. He gets to the sideline and falls to the ground. The staff of Bacon Academy will attend to him, but they're going to have to replace him in the lineup, and it'll be 2nd down and 11 for Bacon. Let's see if they sell out here on 2nd down. This would be a great time, in my opinion. If you're Jimmy Bunicor, this would be a great time to go play action.
Send Saccone down the middle of the field. Try and surprise and pop.
2nd down and 11. Bacon stays in the double wing. Daggett underneath. Pitch again goes to DeShield Santabria. Breaks a tackle, tries to hurdle Blakely and can't. Best we've seen on back-to-back plays for the Bacon defense. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Ball at the 38-yard line of the Bobcats. 3:30 and counting remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, 10 men in the box that time by Bacon. Absolutely nowhere to room to run for Manny DeShields Santa Bria. And, just pick and choose the spots on the outside. This is a big third down here. This is 3rd and 8 with about 3.5 to go, Casey, in the first half. A huge, huge time for the Bacon defense to step up and make a play.
The rain has turned to a mist. The field is a mess. The players are muddy. And we have got ourselves a 21-6 Colonel lead with 3:20 remaining here in the first half. 3rd and 7. Ball at the 37-yard line of the Bobcats. Daggett is your fullback. DeShields Santa Bria is your wing. Saccone now goes wide left. And Ebden will operate out of the shotgun. First time we've seen that. He sends Saccone in motion. Fakes to Saccone, heads straight up the middle. He's not going to have the first down. Is Ty Ebden because Big Dylan Cornbrath got to him short, but it's going to be close enough to where Ledyard may go for it. It's going to be 4th and let's call it 5. Ball sitting at the 39-yard line of Bacon.
Little jet sweep motion that time by Saccone coming across the formation, and a straight quarterback keeper that time by Ty Ebden. So right now, they're good down in distance, 4th and about 4. Looks like Ledyard will keep their offense on the field and try and pick up a first down here.
4th and 4. Ball at the 34-yard line of Bacon Academy. Ledyard in no hurry. 2 minutes, 20 seconds, and counting here in the first half. 21-6. Ledyard on top, and they will take a timeout with 2:15 remaining. Talk a little bit about what's coming up as we wrap up game day. Coming up in the winter, we've got
a halftime show coming up too.
The MJ. Well, before that, the MJ Sullivan halftime show. Hopefully you can have some scores of what's going on in the rest of the world. And I'm not going to talk to you about your weekend of football, the Notre Dame Patriots.
No, we'll get into that a little bit.
Notre Dame Patriots
I'll get you on
double dip.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. I mean, it's a busy time of year for everybody. It's a holiday season. You got state playoff action out there. You've got high school basketball, stat guru in a little bit, game day. Doing some basketball games this year. Casey, you and I will keep the train rolling as we head into 2016.
And what is the motto for the stat guru? Shoot
the ball. Oh, my God. He's wearing his... I mean, listen, the staff at the day went out and spent big bucks on getting this guy a game day jacket. Okay? No, listen, I came from work. And spent big bucks getting this guy a game day jacket.
I know.
And he continues to wear a Duke sweatshirt into the booth.
I'm telling you right now, the junior voice of game day is ready to go through his closet and take the.
Listen, Duke. I mean, anybody with Duke, Case.
I like
Do you like Duke?
I like the sweatshirt.
But you like Duke?
I'd like the game day sweatshirt better.
Sure. I mean, he's on the clock. He's getting paid. He's got to represent the company.
2:15 remaining. Huge 4th down for Bacon Academy. If they want to stay in this thing, now's the time to stop them on 4th and 5. Ebden under center. Fakes it to Saccone. He's going to throw. Rolls. Going to keep it himself is Ebden. He's near the first down, and he leans forward. I think he's got it. Ty Ebden. What a nice play. He rolled his brother, Max Ebden, into the pattern. Faked the handoff. Rolled to his strong side. Kept it himself. And got a first down by inches. First down Colonels, and will be under 2 minutes when they run their next play. Yep. Ball at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, trust your senior quarterback not to force things, not to make a mistake down there in the field. And a great pickup by senior Ty Ebden.
Let's call it the 27-yard line. Pitch goes to DeShields Santa Bria, and he's hit immediately by Nick Provost. Coming off of his end, it's going to be 2nd down and 10. No gain that time for DeShields Santa Bria.
And that's the first time in this game we've seen that outside pressure by the Bacon Academy defense. That time Provost shot up the field from his defensive back position and stopped Manny DeShields Santa Bria before he could hit the hole. Great defense that time by Provost.
A little more aggressive the Bobcats have been on this drive. This is a more aggressive defense. Ledyard has certainly had to earn more of these yards. In motion, DeShields Santa Bria. Ebden's going to throw. Straight drop. He's got Carter in the flat. Carter at the 5. Carter, touchdown, Colonels! What a beautiful play. Ty Ebden to Justin Carter for 28 yards.
Justin Carter's 2nd touchdown on the day. We're going to run it. We're going to run it. We're going to run it. Surprise, surprise. We're going to throw it. Ty Ebden, like you said, 60 touchdown passes, over 60 touchdown passes in his career here at Ledyard. Saw Carter sneaking out of the backfield, and hit him for 6 points, Casey.
What a well-designed play. Carter coming through out on the wheel route. Ebden with a play fake. Beautiful throw. In stride. Carter with the speed. 27-6. Ledyard on top. and a dagger into the heart of the Bacon Academy Bobcats because Ledyard's going to get the football to start the second half, 27-6 Colonels.
That was the right play at the right time for the Ledyard offense.
Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick up by Saccone, and it is good. Luke Saccone, who is Mr. Automatic. And with 1:20 remaining in the first half, Ledyard 28, Bacon 6.
Yeah, that was a big touchdown there by Ledyard as they, okay. At the extra, there was a penalty flag down there.
Offsides against Bacon declined, and we're going to take the extra point. That's what they're trying to do right now, but...
Yeah, I see Jimmy Bunacore down there. It is offsides. It is against Bacon, and keep it up there.
All right, we're going to do it again. What are we doing out here, guys? 1:20 remaining here in the first half. Right now, it's 27-6. Ledyard on time. Ledyard up 27-6, and it looks like we're going to have to do it again.
Sure.
As they blew the whistle dead on the offsides, the encroachment, the unimpeded kind of a thing. So This time, the Ledyard offense is going to stay on the field, however, with a 27-6 lead. Since they've got a little bit closer to the goal line, Ebden's going to be under center. Daggett is the fullback. Saccone and DeShield Sanabria. Ebden's going to keep it himself right over center, puts his head down, leans forward, and we're waiting for the official signal of whether or not they're going to give him the 2. Still haven't seen it yet. The officials are conversing on the goal line. They're jumping
Tanner
up and down.
Daggett, they called no good.
No good.
Wow, big Tanner Daggett was pushing Ty Ebden, too, and he couldn't get him across the line. 27-6 here with 1:20 left to go before the half, and just an absolutely huge drive by the Ledyard offense to really take control of this game going into the locker room at halftime, Casey. Nice job that time. So right now, Bacon with 1:20 left to go, searching for answers on the defensive end of the ball.
Yeah, they did a much better job that time defending the run of DeShield Sanabria, but we talked about it. As soon as you start to overcommit to any one of those things, Ledyard has the ability to adjust, whether it's Saccone going in the other direction or a pass like that to Carter.
Yeah, and that play came at the exact right time for Ledyard, Casey, as they, listen, he says, we can throw it out of this formation. Don't worry about us, guys.
They didn't have to throw the ball at all in building up the lead. As soon as they had to, they did. With 1:20 remaining here in the first half, 27-6. Ledyard on top. However, with 1:20 remaining in a spread offense, don't be surprised if Bacon tries to move down the field.
Yeah, and I don't see why they wouldn't. They're not going to get the ball, obviously, to start the second half. So try and get some points here. Obviously, take care of the ball. And the kickoff is first and foremost, Casey, and try and get something going heading into the locker room.
Saccone will kick it off from his own 40. Hits a low twisting kick and taken by Bacon Academy at the 32-yard line. That's Jacob Fortin. And he's going to get to about the 32-yard line. That's where the Bobcats will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 32. 1:16 remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, we've got to, like I said, we're in the first half here, and the body language right now in the field obviously is in favor of Ledyard. So Coach Eric Walker's got his work to do at halftime, lifting the kids' spirits up and trying to make adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. I think the biggest thing, I'm sorry, Casey, the biggest thing for him is to keep his kids in this game.
Narlock goes wide right. They're going to try to spread him out. Trips left for the Bobcats. Gazibwe's in the backfield. Kelly from the shotgun. Last possession of the half probably for Bacon. Kelly drops, pressured, throws into the flat. No good, looking for Roediger. He was drilled out there by O'Hanlon. Incomplete, and he is down. That's the second time Roediger has been on the turf in today's ballgame.
Yeah, with the score 27-6 too, it's very important for Bacon Academy not to become one-dimensional, because that would play right into Ledyard's hands on the defensive end of the ball.
1:11 remaining here in the first half. 27-6 Bacon trailing Ledyard as we are bringing you Game Day live on theday.com. The officials are blowing the whistle and ready to run this thing again on 2nd and 10 for the Bobcats. Ball at the 35-yard line. 1:11 remaining. 27-6, Ledyard on top. The Cowbells are making their presence known. Trips right now. Narlock, Geary, Chassis, Kelly from the shotgun. Straight drop. Has time. No one's open. Steps up. He's pressured. Rolls right now. Trying to get to the corner. Trying to get past Lynch. And can't do it. Nice job by Ryan Lynch. chasing down Sean Kelly and keeping him in bounds after a gain of only 2.
Nobody open, plain and simply, for the Bacon Academy Bobcats. Ledyard has done a nice job in the defensive backfield. Defensive line doing a heck of a job moving side to side, but there's just nobody open for Kelly to throw the ball to. Casey, nobody down on the fly patterns, nobody underneath. A blanket defense that time by Ledyard Colonels.
3rd and 6, 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Kelly has time for maybe one more play before they have to make a decision here. 3rd and 7. Gazibwe in the backfield. Kelly from the shotgun. Twin receivers left, twins right. Bacon on the short side of the field from the right hash. Straight drop. Kelly looking on the sidelines. He's got Narlock at midfield, and out of bounds goes Dan Narlock with 14 seconds remaining right at the 49-yard line. So Bacon now at least has the ball enough in midfield with a first down here that they can try to throw the ball down the field one more time.
And that was the first time in this game that Kelly's thrown that timing pattern to the outside where it's a little just turning, pitch and catch that time, and Narlock did a nice job of making a catch. That's the first time I've seen that out of Bacon all game.
Took a lot of time to the Bacon Academy Bobcats. 14 seconds remaining here in the first half. Ledyard in a 7 across deep zone. Only 3 men rushing the football now. Kelly's got 5 receivers. Trips left, 2 right from that right hash again. Kelly, straight drop. Pressured. Rolls now weak side. Looking to throw. He gets outside of Carter. Kelly throws down the sideline, and it's complete with 3 seconds remaining at the 35-yard line to Bolden. 35-yard line, and now they're saying that that's the end of the half. They ran the clock there, and that does it. So we're at halftime, ladies and gentlemen, at Bill McNaught Field at Ledyard High School, where the home Colonels, the number 3 seed, lead the 6 seed Bacon Academy Bobcats 27-6. You're listening to the MJ Sullivan halftime show. Let me turn it over to the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Casey O'Neill. Is the halftime house call with the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien, as it is 27-6 here at Ledyard High School. Bacon Academy Bobcats on the road coming into Ledyard. They've beaten Ledyard earlier in the season, but this is the state playoffs. This is not Coach Bunicor's first rodeo. And right now, Bacon is in a bit of a tough spot, down 27-6, as I will bring in pretty soon here Mike DeMauro, my halftime guest. We'll get into some things right now, and we're looking for Dave Cornish, but he's coming up, and he is in the booth. I'll bring on Coach Dave Cornish first, and Dave is the boys, and he looks cold and wet and tired, and you got to put the headset on, Coach. Oh, what a trooper you are, huh?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Coach, how you doing?
Cold.
Cold.
Cold and wet.
Cold and wet. He is Coach Dave Cornish, head coach of the Ledyard boys basketball team. Listen, don't get my seat wet, though.
Can I get?
you
I'm trying to get out of the
Oh,
way.
you're all right.
Okay.
But he is coach of the Ledyard boys basketball team. They will be starting their season. The tryouts and practice is this Saturday. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But first of all, listen, Bacon got Ledyard first time around. Seems like an entirely different ball game out there right now.
We got 27 points in the first half. We had 25 for the game last time. What does that tell you?
Obviously, you think that
22, sorry.
Coach Bunicor has made the adjustments and figured a few things out, not only on the offensive side of the ball, but defensively as well. It seems like there's not a lot of guys running free out there for Bacon right now.
No, this is Ledyard weather anyway. This just running, and with the field the way it is, this definitely benefits Ledyard.
Now, being around Coach Bunicor as much as you have, and you talk about preparation and stuff like that. There's not a lot of guys in the ECC that prepare like this guy.
Not surprised by the score, just because of how Coach how he prepares the guys.
All right, so you're coming up. You got basketball tryouts this weekend.
Saturday.
You ready to roll?
Ready to roll.
You've had summer league. You've had fall league. You've been traveling all over the state. You were at Hyde, New Haven last week. You're up at Mashantucket. Different type of Ledyard team this year. Obviously, last year's team was very special. In the quarters of the state tournament. Finished second in the league. But those seniors are gone. Much like this Ledyard football team is a different team. Your team is entirely different.
Entirely different. We really lack a lot of varsity experience.
Yep.
But we do have some talent. There's some younger kids that are going to have to step up this year. But definitely in losing 8 seniors, 7 of them played. River was hurt. But so we just got to regroup.
What's been the message through, the summer leagues and through some of the AAU, in the fall league, which I was involved with, is the messages, this is a different Ledyard team. You have a chance, though, to continue the tradition and make your mark as a Ledyard Colonel.
I just usually say new squad, same mission.
New squad, same mission.
New squad, same mission.
Your mentality and your style does not change.
No. I mean, we still have the guys to come in and fit what we want to do. So I think, we'll be competitive.
What have you seen over the last few weeks as some of these kids in travel ball and stuff like that? Yeah, I mean, you feel good about what you got coming in next Saturday?
I do. I really, we don't have everybody in, but
right. Some of the kids are out there tonight.
Yeah, a couple of kids
You're
are out
right.
there.
Yep.
But I do feel good about what we have. I think we're going to, possibly surprise some people. But they'll be out to get us anyway, just because the name on our jersey.
Right. So, I mean, when you look at the league from top to bottom, obviously New London last year went undefeated. It's still a mystery what they're bringing back. We don't. Obviously, Major Roman is going to be one of their key players and stuff like that. I mean, Waterford will have a solid team this year. Fitch looks to be, a little bit improved. So the league in general, it's really a mystery. I mean, last year, like you said, New London, Ledyard up on top of the perch. And Bacon Academy, they may have a good basketball team as well. So the league this year, how do you see that shaping up?
Very balanced. I think last year, clearly the two top teams was New London and Ledyard, but this year it's clearly it's balanced. It's balanced. You just don't know who's going to. I mean, Bacon on paper is the best team coming back.
Okay.
They've only lost one guy, and they made it to the ECC semis, I believe,
Yeah.
last year. So on paper, they're the team to beat.
All right. So now, who do you play outside of conference that'll roughen you up a little bit for when you start the league play?
Well, we open up against Valley up at Trinity College, two-time state, finalist, Valley Regional.
Coach Kevin Woods.
Yeah,
he does a nice job with that program up there. Yeah,
he does. And so they'll be well coached and well prepared. That'll be a good test for us right out the box. We play Weathersfield. I think Weathersfield, they have a pretty good guard. I'm hearing. I haven't seen him yet. In the Xavier tournament, obviously Xavier, Glastonbury's pretty good.
Right.
And play a couple Rhode Island teams. Mount Pleasant,
sure.
From what I hear, is the best public school in Rhode Island this year. They had some good guards last year. So we play them at CCRI.
Right. That should be a good experience for the kids. I saw Dakota up by the snack bar before the game, and I said, "You ready to go for Saturday?" He said, "Coach is going to run us." I said, "Yeah, I think that's an understatement."
Got to be in shape.
That's
Got to
it.
be in better shape than the other team.
That's it. So, I mean, back to the football real quick. I mean, listen, if Ledyard can obviously hold on to this game, I mean, survive and advance, they could have a second-round matchup on Monday. I mean, do you see this team, winning a couple games here and Coach Bunico getting a shot at the state title?
I do. I do. I know nothing about New Fairfield, but I just know Coach knows about New Fairfield.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So if he knows and he prepares the guys, I'm sure we'll be ready.
And we will see the Ledyard Colonels a couple times this year on game day this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
surprise.
That's good.
You
Just don't mic us up.
Dave, I'll see you on Saturday. Good luck this year for the season. All right.
Thanks, Keith.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. That's Coach Dave Cornish. He's one of the bright spots in the league this year. And another bright spot, he's my normal halftime guest. He's Mike DeMar.
Before Dave leaves, does that not look like a Fitch umbrella to you?
It kind of does.
That is a Fitch-colored umbrella, is it not?
Why? Yeah.
We did.
Oh boy.
That
that's important. You're down there, Mike's up here.
That's right.
Listen,
why is this chair wet?
he got it. It's
I
this
ain't
Fitch
sitting.
umbrella. No, Mike, how you doing?
I'm good, Keith. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I mean, it's first of all, happy holidays.
You too.
Thanksgiving's over
You
with.
too.
We're right into the Christmas rush and stuff like
Yes,
that.
it was a
Yep.
delightful weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Will Stanford win? Is that where you're going with this?
No, actually, no. I meant it. It was lousy. The Giants lost.
Oh, okay. All right.
BC just urinated down its leg again.
Yeah, against Syracuse. I was watching the game. It was
the
terrible.
worst game that anybody ever saw.
Mike, does this surprise you here tonight?
Not at all.
Doesn't
I
surprise
saw
you.
this one. I think we all. I think we all kind of saw this one coming. I mean, there's really nothing to draw from that first game.
Right.
The two teams are just different.
When we talk to the coaches every week before the game, we talked to Coach Eric Clark on Sunday, and he basically said, listen, we are spending 95% of our film time, 95% of our practice time on defending the wing tee.
Yeah, and that's that famous last words, Keith. A lot of teams have tried to do that over the years, and I think it's a simple offense.
Yeah.
That it's precision and repetition, and when you get Jimmy with those two themes,
Right.
precision and repetition, it's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, at least to some sort of perfection, not making mistakes. So, right now, I mean, Ledyard, certainly in control of this game to get the ball, to start the second half. And Bacon is going to find themselves in gut check time coming out of the locker room. So I'm assuming Coach Larker is going to say, listen, let's start with getting a stop on D, then a score. It's going to be one possession at a time getting back into this game.
You'd like to get this, 27-20 by the fourth quarter.
Right.
If you're them, you got to say, look, Ledyard can't score
No, they can't.
anymore.
They can't.
We might be able to we might be able to score a few more times, but they cannot. They can't. I would say this might be over now, but Ledyard scores one more time.
Right, Bacon just won't have the possessions either because their best. Ledyard's best offense, or best defense is their offense.
Oh yeah,
playing keep away from that Bacon Academy Bobcat offense as well. Mike, when you look across the state right now, obviously Killingly's in somewhat control against Stratford with a 21-10 right now at the half. So ECC school moving on.
Two ECC schools.
Do we? Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Do we see? Could we possibly see Ledyard versus Killingly in a final?
You could. Killingly would have Brookfield probably at the beginning of the year was thought to be the best team in M.
Yep.
That's who they would play.
Okay.
But Brookfield's got to get on a bus and drive for days.
700 miles
to get
to get. We've been on that trip, Mike.
Yeah. So who knows? And like Ledyard, Killingly does what they do very well.
And they're very simplified, very
Yeah.
power offense.
Yeah.
Chad Neal does a heck of a job up there with those kids, no doubt about that. So would be interesting to see, though, and what is that, December 12th?
Yes.
December 12th, a couple of ECC schools going for a state title. When people talk about football across the state, the ECC's not this, the ACC's not that. Well, you could possibly see a champion.
And the game would probably last 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, there'd be 93 running plays.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, Mike, we're shooting around. We'll talk a little national sports right now. Obviously, on the way over here in the car, I had to put my glasses on and come across the Gold Star Highway. David Price, rejoice, has come home to Boston. He is now a member of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Keith, when I saw that, I thought, Brian Cashman, white courtesy phone. Brian Cashman, white courtesy phone. I don't see how. Listen, here's what I know. The Yankees that I know would never, ever let that happen. I have no idea. Seriously, Keith, I have no idea what that's about. I don't see. He let it happen this year, and the reason they didn't win the American League East is because Price went
to Toronto. Sure.
Now the reason they're not going to win the American League East this year is because Price went to Boston.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. And if he thought there were a high number of empty seats in his
wait till this year.
In his ballpark last year, just wait.
And
let me say one more thing here.
Sure.
You're going to love Chris Young.
Yeah, he's a very good player, huh?
Murders left-handers.
There you go. So the Sox have gone out. They got their closer. They've got their number one starter.
Yeah.
I don't really care, Mike, how much money they're paying him. It's not coming out of my pocket.
Why should you?
Yeah, they're giving a guy $30 million. London Day wants to pay me $30 million. I'll take it right now.
Yeah.
Dave, you want to shove your smile on. But, it's not my money. It just, we're not, who cares? I just want to see a good product on the field.
Yeah, and I used that argument against Red Sox fans for many years.
Sure.
When the Yankees used to, I don't know, what's the right word? Try, maybe that's maybe that's the right word.
All right.
And now listen, who care? I don't care what they're making. Raise ticket prices. I don't care. I want to win.
You're going on a press pass anyway. We got about 3.5 minutes to go here before the half.
True.
This is the MJ Sullivan halftime report. The sports doctor making a house call. 27-6 Ledyard right now over the Bacon Academy Bobcats. I've got Mike tomorrow on with a few more minutes. I will pick his brain a little bit about some national sports. Mike, the Golden State Warriors. I know it's early in basketball right now, but could they win 72 games?
Well, let's see.
They'd
only have to go. They'd have to go what? 50, 60, 52, and
12.
And 12. Yes.
Yeah, they could.
They could.
I mean, the big thing about them is, you had a game the other night against Utah. They're on the road. They're down in that game. And those are the games those teams usually lose. They become disinterested, but then you've got a kid, and I'm starting actually to warm up to Steph Curry a little bit. I'm not a fan of his. I'm not a fan of his games. I don't like, just a three-point shooting team. I'm more of a conventional basketball fan, a San Antonio Spurs fan. I like what I see on my Celtics right now, but that's a different story. But I'm starting to warm up to his, if you leave him open, he will kill you.
The whole team, Keith, can pass, dribble, and shoot. They're impossible to guard.
Yeah. I mean, and Luke Walton's still a coach.
Yeah. I mean, sort of makes you wonder what,
Steve Curry. Yeah. It's like the Zen master, Phil Jackson back in the day.
To coach that team.
All right, so A, Golden State is that good. B, is the Philadelphia 76ers that bad?
Yeah, that, it hurts because the Celtics are going to get the Nets choice.
Yeah.
And it would help if the Sixers actually won a game to like...
Oh, New Jersey's not
threaten.
very good either.
No, I know.
Yeah.
The Nets are very capable of, of a really bad year, except that the Sixers are just...
I mean, they've got Okafor there. They've got Nerlens Noel there. I mean, they traded a kid. They traded
Okafor, Duke guys, you can't trust them.
No, he's that guru there. So there you have it in the NBA. Mike, real quick, in the NFL football, I was absolutely, you want to give me injuries, give me whatever you want, but I just thought that was a horrible performance by the Giants at Washington the other day.
Oh, please. Keith,
Mike, it was terrible,
awful.
Mike.
That was awful. But I wish I could say I was stunned. I'll leave you with this, Keith. If on Thanksgiving Day the Cowboys and the Eagles would have won,
right,
the Giants would have won Sunday.
Okay.
To the fact
they play down to the level. They play down to it.
We don't need this game.
They play down to it. Mike, I'm worried about my Patriots.
Why?
Oh, they're hurt.
You're going to make they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to be at home.
All right, Mike, real quick in the last 30 seconds. So you excited about what's coming up here? We're excited about the basketball on game day.
It's going to be great, yeah.
Day.com.
And 10 games.
Yeah.
The finals and the semis of the league should be great.
Features and previews with the coaches and the players and talking to everybody. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we're going. I don't know. I don't think there's a great team in the league this year, but there's about 7 or 8 pretty good ones, which will make for a good year.
Should be a lot of fun. Mike, thanks for coming on.
Sure.
I'll bring on Casey O'Neill, Mike tomorrow. He's certainly got a lot to say. He's got a lot to write about. He is the driving force behind youth sports and the coverage and everything that they get in southeastern Connecticut. Mike, your jacket's here. You all right? Casey, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
It's a busy little halftime show. We had the coach on. We had Mike tomorrow on and talked about some different things. Talked about the Red Sox. You like David Price?
Oh, there's nothing to not like. He's won in the American League East. He's left-handed. He's in the prime of his career. So nothing not to like there. I'm not going to spend 30 seconds talking about contracts because quite frankly, the average person out there doesn't care, and I'm not going to argue something that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I like Coach Cornish. Looked like he's trying to get a little dry up here.
Yeah. I think this is the first time Coach has actually been in this press box too.
I got to tell you,
we wouldn't go back down to the field.
If there was ever a man built for an indoor sport, it's Coach Cornish.
Boy, he is bundled up like an Eskimo there.
Now I know that he's very proud to be the head coach of the Ledyard Colonels, but I also know that if I cut him, a little green.
You're going back to the London
little
thing?
Green comes out.
Going back to the London thing.
Have you seen pictures at least of the gym refurbished at New London?
No, I hasn't seen any of it. Heard about it a little bit. And Coach,
I haven't seen Casey.
I've only seen pictures.
Yep.
But I have to tell you, as whether you're a New London graduate or just a historian of the area, the gym, the Conway Gym at New London is an iconic place, and they have done it justice. The floor looks amazing. It looks beautiful, and it'll look like it's ready to host some basketball games coming here this winter.
Well, I wish they would bring the ECC tournament, semis and the finals back to Conway. That's the Mecca.
I'm with you. That's like when if you have a chance to play it at Madison Square Garden as good as the Barclay Center might be,
Right.
it's not the Garden.
That's right.
And as much as I love Waterford High School. They do a beautiful job. It's great facility. It's a great gym.
It is.
But it's not the Conway Gymnasium. So I'm with you on that. I'd like to see them come back there again. I'd like to see the Colonels in this upcoming basketball season. We're gonna have to sit down and chat a little bit, see how much I can get out of you before the season starts.
Chase, we lost eight seniors, man. The bulk 5 starters. I mean, what do you want to do?
I'll tell you what I want to do. I want you to roll your sleeves up. I want you to teach some aggressive defense, and you're gonna go out there and scrap. Isn't that what the Colonels are gonna do?
That's what we're gonna do. We'll show up and be competitive. That's all I can tell
Well,
you.
I look forward to broadcasting as many of the games as they let me this year. So.
All right, thanks.
All right, Coach.
Back out into
Coach Cornish goes back out into the West. I will be there on Saturday when the Ledyard Colonels start their season. I have been asked to help out a little bit. Be on the court, out and about, help the Colonels, and just a lending hand.
So, I'll tell you, the junior voice of game day, you would have thought that I shot his dog. I knocked his last mozzarella stick. His last mozzarella stick took a dive to the floor here of the press box. I caught it before it fully submerged.
There's a lot going on up here in the press box.
But the look the junior voice of game day gave me. Yeah. Wow. Do not mess with the last mozzarella stick.
All right, second half, Casey. 27-6 right now. The Ledyard Colonels obviously leading the Bacon Academy Bobcats. For Bacon to get into the game, A, they're going to have to stop Ledyard on offense, and B, make some plays. One possession at a time, I would think, is the battle cry right now. I think the X's and O'ing right now at this point of the game for Bacon are probably over. It just comes down to execution. So obviously shoring up, making some tackles, putting people in the positions they need to be on defense, and on offense, try and make some plays.
Well, I'm going to take it a little further. 2 things need to happen. First off, Bacon absolutely needs a stop here on this very first possession of the second half.
Yes.
If Ledyard goes down the field and gets any points at all, I think this one is likely over. Number 2, there are going to have to be turnovers in the second half, whether it's a fumble, and we have seen Ledyard put the ball on the turf a couple of times. Whether it's a fumble, I don't know that it's going to be an interception because I don't think you're going to see Ledyard have to throw the football, but there is going to have to be a turnover along the way. Bacon is going to have to remain efficient offensively, but not pressing. They're going to have to remain multidimensional with Gazibwe. You have a whole half, but defensively, they're going to need to stop right off the bat. Offensively, they're going to need to be efficient, and they're going to have to get a turnover. Ledyard is not going to beat themselves here in the second half.
Yeah, the rain has stopped here at Bill Mignaw Field, 27-6, and left to right on your computer screen radio dial. Bacon will kick off, and Ledyard will take the second half kickoff. And the voice of game day, Mr. Casey O'Neill.
Narlock with the kickoff. A low end-over-end kick comes down at the 30-yard line. Straight up the middle goes Justin Carter. Carter all the way to the 37-yard line in good field position right in the middle of the muck. We'll have the Ledyard Colonels with their first possession of the second half. We'll recap the scoring for you here in a moment, but the score is 27-6. Ledyard on top. They have their first possession of half number 2. Ledyard got the scoring kicked off with 6:28 remaining in the first period on a 50-yard touchdown run by Manny DeShield Santabria. Then with 4:44 remaining in the first period, it was a 4-yard run by DeShield Santabria for a 14-0 first quarter lead. We'll take you through the rest of it after this play. Ledyard in their double wing. Bacon with 11 players within 5 yards of the offensive line. In motion, DeShield Santabria, and we're going to have a flag on the first play. We're going to get a whistle right away. We'll see if that's a false start. It is against Ledyard, so right off the bat, Ledyard helping Bacon out, and I believe that's the first penalty of the game on the Colonels.
It is their first penalty. And in that first half, Casey, like you said, Manny DeShield Santabria, the workhorse of the Ledyard Colonel offense, 13 carries for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns.
In the second period, with 11:28 remaining, Bacon Academy got on the board with a Peter Gazibwe 1-yard run, but Ryan Lynch shot the gap and blocked the extra point, and it was 14-6. Colonels, Justin Carter, back-to-back touchdowns, a 90-yard drive culminated in a Carter run, and then an Ebden to Carter pass, 27-6. Handoff this time, it goes, looks like DeShield Santabria, not much there, gain of maybe a yard, but nice job that time by the Bacon Academy defense. It's going to bring up second and 14. So with 5:13 remaining in the second period, Carter after that 90-yard drive, culminating in a touchdown. The extra point made it 21-6. And then with 1:20 remaining in the first half, that 28-yard Ebden to Carter pass, the extra point, 2-point conversion attempt after a penalty was no good, and that's where we have it. 27-6, 11:16 remaining here. Ledyard on its first drive of the second half. They had a penalty and then no gain on first down. 2nd and 14 here for the Colonels.
And Ledyard offense will be in no rush here in the second half, milking the play clock.
This time it's a fake to Saccone. Ebden rolls right, and a nice play on the outside that time by Mish Piper, knocking the pass away. But he had DeShields Santabria running free, but he was looking on a little tight end rollout. Ebden was looking for his brother Max, but Piper got a hand on it, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, nice job that time by Piper stepping into the passing lane. And like you said, Ebden was checking that play down the entire way. He had a man running free down the right-hand side of the formation, Casey.
Last time we saw this 3rd and long, Ledyard handed it off to DeShields Santabria, and he got a first down. It was the first drive of the game for Ledyard, and it culminated in his 50-yard touchdown. 3rd and 14, ball at the 33-yard line. We're under 11 minutes remaining in the third period. Fakes to DeShields Santabria, gives it to Carter, off right tackle. Carter breaks a tackle. Carter spins. Carter breaks another tackle. He's in the open. Carter's at the 40. Carter's at the 30. Carter's at the 20. Carter's at the 10. 5. Touchdown, Ledyard, Justin Carter. Oh, my.
62-yard touchdown run for Justin Carter, Casey, on 3rd and 14. His 3rd touchdown of the game for the Ledyard Colonels. And the rain is starting to come down again here at Bill Mignall Field. And when it rains, it pours. And it is raining and pouring Ledyard Colonel pride right now.
We said that they needed a stop on this possession.
Yeah.
They had it. 3 times they had Carter short of that first down. But what a run by Justin Carter. 62 yards for the senior wide receiver.
Yeah, 10 carries for 102 yards for Justin Carter on the game.
That's now 2 Colonels over 100 yards rushing. Both DeShields Santabria and Carter over 100 yards. And we have not seen Luke Saccone carry the ball much at all.
No, it's been Carter, it's been Manny DeShields Santabria, and it's been obviously Ty Ebden as well. So, Saccone is not done much in this game. Listen, I hate to tell you, I was the guy I said, watch out for Carter. Watch out for Carter, Casey O'Neill.
You did say that, and he has had quite a ball game. That run right there, an exciting run. He had Manny, and of course, at one point, I thought he was going to get caught, and I realized the guy that was catching him was Manny DeShields Santabria, heading downfield to block for him. We had a penalty on the plays, and now the backing up Saccone 5 yards, but the extra point sails through anyway. And with 10:43 remaining in the period number 3, 34-6, Colonels with an absolute stunning 62-yard touchdown run by Justin Carter.
And Ledyard came out very slow there. Like you said, he stopped on first down. They had a penalty which backed them up a little bit, and it was a perfect scenario for Bacon. They had him 3rd and long, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14, and Carter was actually stopped not only once but twice on that run. He kept his legs moving. There was no quitting him, and found his pay dirt down the left-hand side, Case.
An exciting run, and now Bacon Academy, their first trip to the state playoffs, a successful season, the 8-2 season of the Bobcats. Now they're staring at a 34-6 deficit, and now it's about character and showing how you respond to what has been an absolutely efficient and thoroughly disheartening, if you're on the Bacon Bobcats, effort up till now in stopping this Ledyard Colonel offense. They're just trying to find a spot on the field right now that they can kick off from. The 40-yard line is in the middle of the field, is entirely underwater. Just a big mud pit right now as Saccone's coming to try to figure out where he's going to kick from.
It's a tough trip for the Bobcat team right now, down 34-6. Like you said, Gotta play for a little pride right now if you're the Bacon team.
Well, we said before the game that the Colonels were looking for the magical redemption run. We'll talk a little bit more about that after the kickoff from Saccone. Saccone approaches the football, drives a low-line drive straight up the middle of the field, picked up by the Bobcats at the 20-yard line, and it's going to be returned to about the 33-yard line, where the Bobcats will have their first possession of the second half. That return was by Jacob Fortin, first down Bobcats.
Casey, one of the points you brought up in the pregame is, each week, this is I believe our 5th time seeing the Ledyard Colonels this year, 4th or 5th time, and they get better every week. And that's the thing. They get They got better from New London. They got better against Fitch. Each week they got better. They improved. And I think the sky's the limit right now for that offense. As long as they continue to play mistake-free football, not turn the ball over, no stupid penalties. They've only got one penalty tonight, no turnovers out there in the mess. So as long as they do what they need to do on the offensive side of the ball, I think they can win some ball games here in the Class M states.
We're going to see. We need to get a score of that St. Joseph's New Fairfield game. We'll talk to you why about that in a minute. First and 10 Bobcats, 10:34 remaining here. Ball marked at the 33-yard line. Kelly in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Hands off straight up the middle to Gazibwe. Gazibwe puts his head down, breaks off right tackle for about 4. It's going to be 2nd and 6.
Real quick, I got some big football friends listening in on the broadcast tonight. Give a little shout out to the general, Raymond, and his young son, Noah, my godson. Just chiming in right now, and they're listening to the telecast, and they say, you sound terrific.
You do sound terrific.
No, you sound terrific.
Oh, thank you very much. We're also being live right now in the Villages, Florida, down in Florida, so we're going all the way down the coast. 2nd and 6. Kelly looking for Gazibwe in the flat. Now he's pressured. Rolls right. Throws down the sideline, and it's tipped and incomplete. Ryan Lynch closed on the football to tip it away as Kelly was just trying to throw it away.
Yeah, and again, what happens that time, Casey, is the pressure comes up the middle from the Ledyard defense, forcing Kelly to scramble to his right, cutting off the entire left-hand side of the field. And the Ledyard has done a nice job of shrinking the field defensively for Kelly, giving him very little options.
Yeah, Coach Bunacore was very excited about the schemes that they had planned today defensively. You can see why. They have really done a great job defending this Bacon Academy spread offense. Twins left for the Bobcats in Narlock. Wide right now. Narlock heads into the backfield to get the play from Kelly. Looking at Gazibwe's wristband. Now Narlock heads back wide right on this 3rd and 6 from the 37-yard line. Gazibwe is in the backfield to the right of Kelly. Kelly in the shotgun. Kelly throws a little bubble screen to Bolden to make that Roediger. And he's hit almost immediately. Dante Roediger after maybe a half a yard. Nothing there. James Smith comes from his cornerback position to wrap him up almost immediately.
Yeah, a loss on the play on the bubble screen that time, and Ledyard defenders very fast to the ball, Casey. Good quick pursuit will bring up a punt here by the Bacon Academy Bobcats, but, Ledyard side to side so fast at getting to the ball, sound tackling, mistake-free football thus far from the Colonels.
Ledyard lost one football game this year. It was to these Bacon Academy Bobcats, so step 1 of the redemption comes with this, so far, 34-6 effort on behalf of the Colonels. Narlock, low snap, fields it, gets the punt away. It's a spiral. It's going to bounce and die at the 33, and now takes a little pro-Bacon bounce to about the 30-yard line where Ledyard will have the ball. The Ledyard Colonels lost one game last year, and that was to the St. Joseph's of Trumbull in the state championship game. And we are waiting to hear a St. Joseph's New Fairfield score, but if St. Joseph's could win that game, then Ledyard would have an opportunity at redemption number 2. And then, of course, Killingly and Brookfield, both rivals. Brookfield beat them in 2008, and Killingly an ECC rival. So Coach Bunacore saw the writing on the wall, so there was a lot of opportunities here for Ledyard to make amends of some of the efforts over the past few years.
Yeah, and Coach Bunacore has been knocking on the door for many years, and I will tell a good story I've got for you about the John Kelly story that I told you off the air. And it may, kind of play into the whole thing with Coach Bunacore going in his hunt for a state title, the elusive one.
First one's always the hardest. 9 minutes remaining here in the third period, 34-6, Ledyard on top. Handoff straight up the middle to big Tanner Daggett. And Tanner Daggett's got a first down. He's still in the open field. Big rumbling, stumbling. Tanner Daggett. Oh, my. Crosses midfield.
Tanner Daggett eating things up down there. He kind of looks like a mini version of the refrigerator out there. Big number 75 across between the refrigerator and Vince Wolfhook. He just took that handoff and went straight up the gut that time.
He's like the college fridge.
The college.
The one you bring into college, the little mini
Yeah, obviously.
1st and 10 as the Daggett Express crosses over midfield to the 48-yard line over a dejected Bacon Academy defense right now. They are tired. They've been on the field an awful lot as Ledyard has just grinded and grinded and grinded. Grinded? Ground?
Ground and pound.
Grounded.
5 yards in a cloud of dust, 5 yards in a pile of mud.
In motion to shield Santabria. Straight up the middle it goes to Carter, but we're going to have a whistle. We're going to have a whistle. Ball is dead. We're going to have a false start against the Colonels. Their second of this half.
Yeah, Casey, I had a chance to speak to Jimmy Bunacore, Coach Bunacore, off the record the other day, and I told him, about a story when spent some time around John Kelly, the old Mystic Village John Kelly. Kelly's Pace. He owned a shoe store down there, and he had a chance to go to his 50-year reunion of winning the Boston Marathon. And, he was like, hey, Keith, I don't think I'm going to go. And I'm like, John, go enjoy yourself. I mean, you're, obviously a little later in life, and enjoy the accolades they're going to give you. And it's a great feat. And I asked him, I said, was winning the Boston Marathon the hardest thing you ever did? And he looked at me and he said, no, I lost back-to-back years. I had to live with it. Once I figured out how to win, it was easy.
Pitch goes to DeShields Santabria. DeShields Santabria breaks a tackle. He's in the open looking for a block. Manny DeShields Santabria's got one man to beat. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Manny DeShields Santabria.
Max Ebden, big block down the left-hand side. Springing Manny, just being Manny, his third touchdown of the game. That will push him just to about 200 yards. Second run of over 50 yards, 15 carries, 179 yards, and his third touchdown of the night.
Wow, what an effort by Manny DeShields Santabria and Justin Carter. Two workhorses. We have a penalty against the Colonels. Unsportsmanlike. The touchdown will be good, though, and they will assess that after. 40-6, Ledyard, in an absolute thrashing of these Bacon Academy Bobcats. They were not ready for this Colonel offense.
No, I mean, and you can simulate it all you want in practice, Casey. You can watch as much video. You can study the film. But until you have to go up there and match hat on hat against this misdirection, against the power, and again, it is an entirely different Ledyard team than Bacon saw in Week 4.
Yeah, that Bacon Academy team jumped up on the Colonels and held on. This Bacon Academy team was just not prepared for this Ledyard offense. This Ledyard offense has absolutely ground them into the ground. 40-6. Colonels on top with 7:52 remaining in the third period. We will try to get you the score of that St. Joseph's New Fairfield game to find out who these Ledyard Colonels will play in the next round.
And 17-0 New Fairfield right now over St. Joe's early in the third quarter. So it looks like the show may have to go on the road for the Ledyard Colonels.
And on the road it will go, all the way down to New Fairfield.
Still trying to figure out where that is.
Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is good. Sacone's extra point makes it 41-6. Ledyard.
There's a few towns, like I said, I've hit on them. Washington, New Fairfield, New Hartford, New Milford, Kensington. There's a few towns in the state. I have no idea where they are.
How about Kent? You know where South Kent is?
I have no idea.
All right.
I know where Clark Kent is.
Do you know where Sharon is? Do you know there's a town named Sharon in Kent?
I once dated a Sharon.
Yeah, well, that's not the town of Sharon.
Well, but I understand that. But there's a few towns here in the state. I just have no idea. And again, I'm well-traveled. Would you not say? I deliver for UPS. I work. I drive a truck. I'm around. I know where Mystic is. I know where Stonington is. I know where New London is.
You know where Killingly is. And that's another.
That's
another score we want.
Well, there's a couple of towns up in that way, which like Quinnebog.
Yeah,
North Groversdale.
North Groversdale.
Yeah. I coached basketball in North Groversdale for a couple of years.
Jewett City, which is
Jewett
City, which is had got two streets going across each other.
Yeah, Main Street and Pine Street. South Main.
North Main and South Main. 41-6 with 7:52 remaining. We are going to try to get you that Killingly score as soon as the form like tomorrow. It is 21-10. Redmen on top. The number one seeded Redmen up 21-6 over Stratford. They're going to play the winner of the Abbott Tech Immaculate Brookfield game. These Ledyard Colonels look like they're well on their way to they're up 41-6 over Bacon Academy. And right now New Fairfield shutting out that formerly potent St. Joseph's offense. That St. Joseph's offense that scored 80-plus points against these Colonels.
Yeah, not the same team, though. They won the state championship last year. They've lost a few players. And not the same team this year for St. Joe's. They had a couple losses. They finished the regular season 8-2.
Squib kick by Ledyard is covered up by the Bacon Academy's Mish Piper. And it'll be good field position for Bacon at the 42-yard line with 7:49 remaining here in the third period. And I'll tell you, the last two efforts we've seen from Ledyard against Fitch on Thanksgiving and tonight against Bacon. Wow. Rest of the state take notice.
Well, I just don't think it's all business. It's an all business-like approach. And, Coach Bunicor is usually pretty loosey-goosey in our weekly phone calls. And he was all business the other night. And not a lot of joking around. And, gave the company pitch line at every question pretty much.
Handoff straight up the middle to Gazibwe. Gazibwe breaks a tackle. Now he's trying to get to the outside. Breaks another tackle, but he can't break the tackle of Ryan Lynch. And I got to say, Ryan Lynch, the senior defensive back linebacker, 5'7", 185 pounds, and I don't believe that he is nearly that big.
No, he looks a little.
He might be right now, because he is literally soaking wet.
Right.
But he has played quite a game today, coming up and run supporting, and also playing in the defensive secondary, as Ledyard has gone with 5 and 6 defensive backs on occasion, and having their linebackers drop into coverage as well.
Yeah, I mean, the linebackers obviously set the tone early in the game with Colin Routh and Johnson and, you know, Manny out there being Manny on the defensive end of the ball as well. He's played a very good game, Casey. I mean, right now, from a defensive standpoint from Ledyard, I mean, you know, Kelly's got nobody to throw the ball to. The field is being cut in half by the Ledyard defense. Very tough out there right now for the Bacon Bobcats. 2nd and
11, 7:12 remaining here in the third period. Kelly from the shotgun. Straight drop. Steps up. Pressured. Get a flag on the play. We're going to have a hold against Bacon again. This time Kelly throws out looking for Geary. No good. But we're going to have a flag in the backfield. That's going to be a hold against Bacon. That's going to back him up even farther.
Yeah, big Tanner Daggett not only going to run the football, but he is making noise up front. And he's just a handful. He's just a big kid that gets into the backfield on every single play.
The third period is brought to you by Lawrence Memorial Hospital. Lawrence Memorial has 2 ways for you to get expert non-emergency care with less cost and less waiting than a visit to the emergency room. At Lawrence Memorial, with their 2 walk-in locations on Howard Street in New London and the Stop and Shop Plaza in Stonington, they offer you more convenience and more services with no appointment necessary. From rashes to gashes and routine physicals too, at Lawrence Memorial, they're here for you. Coming soon, a new walk-in location opens up in Waterford.
Rashes to gashes.
Rashes to gashes. Well, right now, I think the Bacon Academy team feels pretty gashed themselves. 7 minutes under now, 6:50, 41-6. The Ledyard High School Colonels with a clinic today on the offensive side of things. Bacon never able to get anything going. Kelly from the shotgun, 4 wide receivers, twin left, twin right. Straight drop. Kelly, pressured, rolls left, looking to throw. No one open. Kelly keeps it himself, and he'll gain about 5 yards and goes out of bounds just shy of midfield, and it's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
You know, Kelly's that prototypical pocket passer a little bit, performs out of the shotgun, you know, for much of the game, and he is one of those kids where if you can move him off his spot a little bit, it makes things very difficult for him, and it limits his options, what he's got offensively. He's much more effective, Casey, when he sits back in the pocket, and he can pick and choose underneath and then work through his progressions. And right now, what Ledyard doing is they basically taking everything away from the Bacon offense, including Peter Gazibwe.
3rd and 5, ball just shy of midfield. Bacon with a 3rd down, 6:20 remaining here in the third period. Kelly from the shotgun. Has time this time, no pressure, but no one's open. Rolls left, now he's being pressured. Steps up again, and again out of bounds. This time he's going to lose 2, but nothing there for the Bacon Academy offense.
No, just man-on-man out there for the Ledyard defense, covering the Bacon receivers all over the place. Things are very, very difficult right now for Bacon offensively. They become one-dimensional, and B, the Ledyard defense has probably played one of the best games I've seen them play all year long.
Well, let's not forget that going into Thanksgiving, the Ledyard defense had given up the second fewest points of any team in the state of Connecticut, trailing only Windsor. And they thought going into Thanksgiving they may have a chance to win that. Now, they had such a big lead on Thanksgiving, they gave up some late points with the JVs on the field. But this Ledyard defense is a very, very good defensive.
3 shutouts on the year.
4th down. Kelly to throw. In the flat, he hits Gazibwe in the hands, and it's incomplete. Had him for a 1st down, but the pass goes to the turf. Turnover on downs. Ledyard football.
Yeah, here come the Ledyard Colonels. Ground attack once again, up 41-6. Bacon had a little bit of lightness as Gazibwe came out of the wheel route that time and dropped the pass. Tough sledding right now for the Bobcats.
That's going to be 1st down Ledyard with the ball at the 48-yard line, make it the 47-yard line of Bacon Academy. With 6:06 remaining in the third period, Ledyard is going to be content to continue to grind it up, but they're not going to take up time because they score very easily after this.
Yeah, be worried about the 50-point rule pretty soon.
Saccone is in the double wing along with DeShield Santabria. Big Tanner Daggett is in the fullback spot. DeShield Santabria over 100 yards today with 2 runs over 50 yards for touchdowns. Ebden under center. Pitch fakes, hands off to Daggett up the middle. Daggett rumbles and stumbles and bumbles and muds himself down towards the 1st down. Tanner Daggett with his 2nd carry, and he's up over 20 yards.
Up over 20 yards. Tanner Daggett doing it all.
Tanner Daggett averaging...
The college refrigerator.
Averaging 10 yards a carry is Tanner Daggett. Clearly, Coach Bunicor did not get him enough reps during the course of the season. He's a weapon out there.
Now he looks like he's a kid that's having fun out there in the mud, too. He's a big kid. He's from Ledyard. You know, he's playing defense. He's working his tail off, and now he's got 2 carries here in the second half, Casey.
One of the great Ledyard sports names, the Daggett family, and Tanner, the most recent of that line. Handoff again, straight up the middle, goes Big Daggett. He's still on his feet, and he gets about 12 more yards to about the 32-yard line. Tanner Daggett, like you said, he's just having some fun.
Yeah, Ledyard right now just pretty content with just running the football up the middle and a little hand jiving going down there with Carter, and the Ledyard Colonels having fun. Casey, how about the snow? You play football in the snow?
I love playing football.
You'd rather play football in the snow than the slop?
Oh, no, I wouldn't want to. I would definitely play in the slop.
All right.
Over the snow. The snow's fun too. First down, and we're gonna have a flag on the play. Looks like we had a little jumping on the Bacon Academy side. They shot to the ball. That's going to be but they were drawn off. It's going to be a legal procedure. Third against the Colonels in this second half, in this third quarter.
Yeah, everybody moved that time for the Ledyard offensive line, but the center. The ball is not snapped. That is a penalty. That's not cheating. It's a penalty.
It's going to back them up. It's going to bring up 1st and 15. Ball will be back to the 37-yard line of Bacon Academy. 4:54 remaining here in the third period. Ledyard 41 on top of Bacon 6 in what has been an absolute clinic offensively by these Ledyard Colonels.
Keep the clock moving right now. That's the game plan for the Colonels.
Ebden under center, barking signals, pitches to Carter. No, or is that to Shield Santa Bria? Hard to tell in the open. Manny to Shield Santa Bria, and another Ledyard touchdown to Shields Santa Bria with another Ledyard score.
Well over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns today for Manny the Shield Santa Bria. Casey, this young man come ready to play tonight. Coach is shoulder to load on him. 16 carries now for 210 yards unofficially, and his 4th touchdown tonight. He has had touchdown runs of 32, 53, and 50 this evening.
Wow. I don't have anything to say.
Tough to simulate that in practice for the Bacon Academy Bobcats. Manny's putting on a show here tonight, and give credit to that offensive line, too, for the Colonels.
Wow.
Huge hole.
Saccone in for the extra point, and it is up and through. 4:33 remaining in the third period. 48-6. Ledyard.
Well, I think the biggest adjustment that Bacon had to make is they did not see the double wing tee. And again, we talked about how much execution and how perfect it's almost run. It almost really reminds me of the old Fitch teams back in the, in the 90s and early 2000s. Mike Jones and, and Brian Hopkins and some of those characters. Carter was the quarterback, was he not? Raheem Carter was the quarterback, and Coach Mike Emery, and it started up front with the offensive line for that Fitch team, and you sprinkle in a couple athletic kids out there, and JoJo Shoemaker and some of the other kids last year, and Philip Thomas, River Thomas gone, but it's a different Ledyard team with the same results. Boy, they're playing very well. High level football right now, folks.
48-6, Ledyard with 4:33 remaining in the third period. And it like an avalanche on top of the Bacon Academy Bobcats. It was 27-6 going into halftime, and Ledyard has scored 3 times on a 62-yard Justin Carter run, a 52-yard Manny DeShield Santa Bria run, and a 37-yard Manny DeShield Santa Bria.
And we saw basically the same thing on Thanksgiving Day, where Fitch went in the locker room down by a score or 2, and Ledyard just came out and stamped approval the game.
Chassie gets the kickoff at his own 10 and returns it up to the 35-yard line. Paul Chassie with a good return for Bacon. And we should talk a little bit about the Bacon Academy senior class, because this will be the last game for these Bacon seniors who have had arguably the best season in Bacon Academy history. They're 8-2 in a postseason game. The seniors Dan Narlock, Matt Seacard, John Blakely, Nick Provost, of course, Captain Peter Gazibwe, Sean Kelly, Dante Rodiger, Jason Geary, Jacob Fortin, Eric Brooks, Tyler O'Connor, Colin Brown, Dylan Cornbrath, one of the captains, Zach Hill, one of the captains, Colton Dennis, and Harley Carroll, the seniors for the Bacon Academy Bobcats in their final game for Bacon. Kelly pitches, option, Seacard, and it's intercepted by Carter at the 43-yard line. As if Carter had anything left to do.
Carter's done it all today. He was one of the key players that we watched out for in the beginning of the game, kind of one of those unsung heroes a little bit, but he has done very well out there today for the Ledyard Colonels, and it's just it's a tough game right now if you're a Bacon Academy Bobcat player and or fan.
4:12 remaining here in the third period, 48-6 Ledyard with the football, and you'll see Coach Bunicor starting to wind this thing down instead of trying to score, up 48-6.
Casey, what about some of the teams that you were associated with or you've been around with in London High School throughout the course of the year? Some great football programs there, and you know, just you talk about, you know, the 80s and the 90s with New London, and obviously the Fitch team, it was there. There's been some good football played in the ECC. There
has. I was part of the. I was there at New London High School as the pitch goes. It's going to be another one in the open. DeShields, Santa Bria. He's up into the open to the 40-yard line, 35 all the way to the 30. Manny DeShields, Santa Bria, we thought he was going to break another one under 4 minutes remaining, but another Ledyard first down. They cannot stop Manny DeShields, Santa Bria.
Yeah, 17 carries for 241 yards and 4 touchdowns. He is averaging just over 14 yards a pop in this game today. Manny DeShields, Santa Bria, doing work for the Ledyard Colonels, Casey O'Neill.
We saw him have an effort like this at New London in another driving rainstorm, so maybe Manny likes the rain, because that game at New London was one of the best games I had seen by a running back. 48-6 and still going.
Killingly up 28-10 with 4 minutes left to go.
Power handoff up the middle. It goes to Daggett, and Daggett's going to have about 8 yards as we're down under 3.5 minutes remaining here in the third period.
Yep, Killingly 28, Stratford 10, 4 minutes left to go in that game, and New Fairfield 24-0 against St. Joe's.
Well, it looks like Ledyard's going to have to go to New Fairfield come Monday. And the Killingly Redmen will probably play host to the winner of ATI and Brookfield. We'll have to find out. But either one of those teams is going to have a drive and a half from the Danbury area all the way up to the Killingly area.
Yeah, timeout that time by the Bacon Academy coach, and the defensive coordinator comes out on the field to talk things over a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be Danbury. I know what Danbury is, Casey.
When I was in high school, we had the back-to-back teams that lost heartbreakers to Ansonia, the great Jack Hunt teams of Ansonia.
Sure, yeah.
Led by the best football player that I ever saw, Jamal Johnson, who never came off the field at New London High School. He was the punter, the kicker, the running back. Yeah. Went on to play high-level college football with Jamal Johnson. Offensive line led by Jason Appleby, who went on and played at UConn.
Right.
Very, very good team. Great defense, those two teams. They came up short on back-to-back plays. Fran Hendricks was the great running back at the time for Ansonia. New London lost twice to them when I was in high school.
Who was the coach back then?
Coach Jimmy Bunicor, Sr.
Guy sitting over to our right.
Yeah. But then the Fletcher brothers, Ambrose and Cassie Fletcher, came, and they went out and they ended up just destroying Ansonia, winning back-to-back state championships with Troy McKelvin, Rob Young playing defense. Tommy Thompson, the principal of New London High School, was the middle linebacker.
Coach Troy McKelvin.
Coach Troy McKelvin.
He was a good athlete.
He was a fantastic athlete. We've talked about that. Maybe the biggest winner in the history of New London High School.
That's a strong statement.
With 3 basketball championships, two baseball championships, and 2 football championships.
That's not bad.
So that's
some pretty good hardware. It's a pretty good blend.
7 state championships. Second down and run short for the Colonels will bring up either a first down or third and short. They're going to mark it at the 20-yard line. It's going to be right at the marker, so they're going to wind the clock. We're
Should
down
be enough
under
for a first down,
3 minutes remaining here. Ball on the 20, first and 10, Ledyard. So, yeah, some great, those great New London teams, and then, of course, one final state championship in the 90s, so the 3 that they won in the 1990s. Ebden under center, pitches to DeShields, Santa Bria, breaks a tackle. It's going to get about 4 yards this time on first down. And it's going to be under 2 minutes remaining. The ball is going to be marked about the 16-yard line. 48-6, Ledyard, as we are just watching time go by here, trying to get to the end of this one. We're only in the third period, though, and it has been all Colonels.
Yeah, right now, Bacon Academy just playing for a little pride out there, Casey, and a good season that they have had, and their program's come a long way under Coach Eric Clark with 3 wins, 4 wins, and an 8-2 season for the Bobcats.
But as we get down under 2 minutes remaining, just too much today, too much Colonels. The veteran Ledyard Colonel team just absolutely putting on a display offensively and defensively with a 48-6 lead. DeShield, Santabria, and Saccone are the wings. Daggett is the fullback, and we're going to have a timeout. Timeout again on Ledyard as the play clock was about to run out.
Yeah, and Coach Butecore talking to his kids on the sidelines. And, when you fast forward a little bit to some of the football in the ECC, I remember watching NFA play a few years ago in the state finals up at Rensselaer Field. They lost to Xavier in that game. Marcus Outlow, who was the all-state, all-everything running back. Marcus Outlow's transferring.
Yes, he's
transferring. I hear either UConn or Temple. I will find out. Marcus Outlow, you know where he's transferring, Mike? I'm asking Mike tomorrow real quick, and he does not know. He has got his Giants hat on, but he is transferring out of BC.
He's going to give up a Boston College education, wherever he goes. 1:47 remaining, 48-6. Ledyard on top of Bacon Academy.
But that game that was a game up at Rensselaer Field where Marcus got hurt, I believe, in early going in that game, and NFA didn't have a shot. So you've seen a lot of schools from the ECC vying for a state title in the last few years.
1:47 remaining here in the third period, 48-6. Ledyard all over the Bacon Academy Bobcats. You're listening to Game Day live on theday.com. Now Ledyard's going to go a little razzle-dazzle. Carter goes wide left. Ebden's in the shotgun to shield Santabria. Ebden's going to throw. Ebden pressured, throwing over the middle for his brother. Max Ebden dives and incomplete in the end zone. Nice coverage out there by Provost. That's going to bring up 3rd and 6. A little wrinkle that time from the Colonels.
A little bit of a different look that time by the Ledyard offense. Why? I don't know. Maybe just trying to work on the play a little bit. Coach Butecore hitting the buttons of his Madden game down there.
48-6, and we're really happy every time the clock stops right now. Nothing we want to see more than that. 48-6, 1:38 remaining here in the third period. Ledyard all over Bacon Academy, and Ledyard with the ball 3rd and 6 from the Bacon Academy 16-yard line. DeShield, Santabria, and Saccone are the two wings, and a timeout on the field as we have an equipment issue with one of the Bobcats. They're going to fix that. And right now, this game has been a very 2 hours now.
This third quarter seems like it's just taking absolute forever. Maybe it has.
Feels like it right now. It hasn't ended yet. We don't know for sure that it will actually end because it hasn't.
Stat Guru is here. He's tweeting out the scores. He's tweeting out things. North Carolina is playing Maryland tonight, college basketball. Number 9 versus number 2 in the country.
Does any of that matter until March?
Yeah, I think it does. I think college basketball is terrific.
In motion to shield Santabria. Handoff straight up the middle to Carter, and he's popped and falls forward for a gain of 3. It's going to bring up 4th and short for the Colonels. Ball is going to be marked at about the 14-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play for Carter. That'll bring up 3rd and 3.
I think that Bacon Academy is actually a little shocked that Ledyard is still trying to score a touchdown here.
One more to go, I suppose, but it is 4th and 4. Ball is at the 14-yard line. We'll see what Ledyard does. We're mercifully down towards about a minute remaining here in the third period. Daggett is the fullback to shield Santabria and Saccone. Pitch to DeShield Santabria on a little inside reverse to Saccone, and Luke Saccone is going to walk into the end zone from 14 yards out.
Again, then we see the double wing, the little inside shovel, the little trickery reverse end around on that formation, and obviously, the first time that Ledyard had ran that all game long, Bacon caught off guard, and right now it's 54-6, the Ledyard Colonels.
Well, we've seen that play end up in his fumbles twice during the course of this year. Twice we've seen that little inside shuffle pass, a little inside reverse from DeShield Santabria to Saccone. That time run flawlessly for a touchdown with 51 seconds remaining here in the third period. 54-6. Ledyard on top of the Bacon Academy Bobcats. Saccone in for the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick down, and Mr. Automatic, Luke Saccone makes it 55-6.
Nothing going on here but paying the rent now at this point. 55-6, the Ledyard Colonels up at Bill Mignall Field. It's the sports doctor along with Casey O'Neill, the voice of Game Day and the voice of interscholastic sports in southeastern Connecticut. I've titled you that.
Interscholastic, well done.
Yeah, high school sports in southeastern Connecticcut. And Stat Guru's taking a break. He says, I cannot do this anymore. He is he leaving the booth?
That's isn't that his
As his laptop, Stat Guru's still on the clock. He's still on the payroll, so He shall get back here. He's over there talking to Mike, I think. Mike tomorrow.
Junior Voice of Game Day might have to do the whole fourth quarter at this point.
Yeah, he's here. He can put the headset on. He's all set.
I think we are going to see all the backups here in the entire fourth quarter for Ledyard as the Colonels are getting their fans, rewarding the fans who are here in attendance. The cowbell's ringing. 51 seconds remaining here in the third period as Coach Jimmy Bunicor his team said, hey, go thank the fans who showed up and sat in this rainstorm tonight because they are not going to get another home game if the score stands right now between St. Joseph's and New Fairfield. The number 2 seed, New Fairfield, is winning easily right now, shutting out St. Joseph's, which means that this is the last game here on Bill Mignault Field this year.
That's a good thing, too, because this field is chewed up, Case. Chewed up.
Ledyard will be on the road to New Fairfield come Monday. Low rolling squib kick taken by Fortin, and he will be finally wrestled to the ground at the 35-yard line with 39 seconds remaining here in the third period. Bacon Academy will have possession at their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, I see Pasta down on the sidelines. Coach Pasta clowning around with Dave Cornish. I'm surprised Dave is down. It's muddy down there. Dave's kind of a pretty guy. He's probably getting his shoes and his jeans all dirty and whatnot.
Like I said, there's never been a guy made for an indoor sport more than Dave Cornish. He has not yet found a warm gym that he would rather have
He's down there in the mud right now.
140-degree gym, sweating it out, than be out there in the mist. But the mist is easing up, but not in time for the Ledyard.
Listen, you've called games from that gym. It's hot in there.
I have.
It is hot. And that game we called last year when they played New London,
it was so hot.
It was like the old Boston Garden in there.
I loved it. I'd take that too, though. Kelly from the shotgun, handoff straight up the middle. It goes to Gazibwe. Gazibwe in his final game as a Bacon Academy Bobcat will gain about a yard. And we should talk about some of the seniors on this Bacon Academy team. Peter Gazibwe, an absolute standout all year long, along with Sean Kelly. They have done great things. Narlock, Seacard, and Rodiger, some of the others, Geary and Fortin, the seniors of this Bacon Academy Bobcat team. Not quite enough today against the Ledyard High School Colonels. Under 10 seconds remaining in the third period. 55-6.
2 schools from the ECC will advance because Killingly right now up 35-10 over Stratford.
And there it is for the third period, and that brings us to period number 4, which of course is brought to you by the MJ Sullivan Automotive's Corner, where MJ Sullivan Hyundai, your no money down means no money down. You can lease a 2015 Hyundai Sonata Sport for no money down and only $279 a month for 36 months. They'll pay your first payment, they'll pay your upfront sales tax, they'll pay your registration, dealer conveyance fees. You pay $0 down and only $279 a month for a 2015 Hyundai Sonata Sport. Only at MJ Sullivan Hyundai, corner of Broad and Coleman Streets in New London. You can see their entire inventory at mjsullivanauto.com.
This is week 12 of Game Day, Casey O'Neill. It's been a pleasure working with you during the football season. I'll get into a couple of things here in the fourth quarter. We'll talk about some of the teams we saw, some of the players we saw. But first and foremost, what do you think of the glasses?
They look good on you.
I mean,
listen,
I was easy. All right. Okay, they're progressives. The bottom are bifocals, and the tops are for seeing. I almost drove off the Gold Star Highway on the way here. I mean, Junior Voice approves.
Not bad.
So they're all right.
Not bad.
They're all right. I mean, I'm not going to wear them all the time.
I mean, you're old. You got to wear
them. I am getting old. There's no doubt about that.
Junior Voice of Game Day rocks the glasses.
He does.
He's only 8 years old.
We have some very similar frames. His probably a little more stylish because of his mom.
And the fact that he has to wear his all the time.
Right.
Do you have to wear yours all the time?
I do not. Night driving and reading.
Yeah, reading, that's what I have. I have reading glasses. I got the specs, the reading specs. Here we go, first play of the fourth quarter. Bacon Academy with a 2nd and 9 ball at the 37-yard line. Kelly from the shotgun throws deep down the left sideline looking for Chassie. It's complete at the 40-yard line. Paul Chassie with the reception. He was tightly guarded by Smith, but nice catch out there by Chassie, and that'll be a first down Bobcats into Ledyard territory at ball at the 36-yard line.
The biggest play of the day by the Bacon Academy Bobcats. Nice pitch and catch at time from Kelly to Chassie. I started to wear the glasses because I could not read the program at the Belmont.
Well,
Reader's Cup.
You got to be able to read the program.
Could not read the program. I had trouble reading it, and a buddy of mine says, Keith, why don't you try a pair of glasses? But I did see American Pharoah as a 105 favorite.
Narla, that's right. Chalk and volume. Kelly from the pistol. Straight drop. Looking for Chassie. Pressured. Rolls. Steps. tries to throw across his body. It's batted down and intercepted. The ball was tipped by Ledyard and intercepted. Derek Johnson with the interception off the tip. And with 11:21 remaining, Bacon Academy turns it over.
That is the story of the game for the Ledyard defense. They have taken Sean Kelly out of his comfort zone right from the get-go. And you saw it once again. Ledyard taking away a whole half of the field, forcing Kelly to make a throw on the run, try to throw back across his body. Ball was tipped, and a heads-up play that time by the Ledyard defense. Casey, it's been a struggle all game long for the Bacon Academy offense.
And Devin Condi will come into the ball game for Ledyard. We saw him with some cleanup duty on Thanksgiving Day. The senior running back, Devin Condi, scored a touchdown on Thanksgiving. He will come into the ball game now for Ledyard as they're up 55-6 with 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Aces are wild up there on the scoreboard.
Nice. Snake eyes.
Down now running clock, thankfully. We're down under 11 minutes to go here. 55-6, Ledyard on top. Daggett in the backfield. Ebden will stay in at quarterback. Condi now will be on one of the wings along with Lynch. Ebden gives the ball to Condi. Condi straight up the middle. Breaks a tackle. Off right tackle. Good for about 4 yards. Devin Condi on a nice run on first down will bring up 2nd and 6 for the Colonels.
Yeah, so our 12th game this year, Casey, we've seen a handful of teams here from the ECC in southeastern Connecticut. We've seen Ledyard. Obviously, we've seen them numerous times. We've seen... we had a chance to get a look at East Lyme early in the season. We've seen Wyndham, Stonington, Waterford, Fitch, Montville, NFA, and Xavier. We've seen New London as well. So we've had a chance to see a lot of different teams in the league thus far.
Most of the league covered through our broadcast. Got a good chunk of it. And all the broadcasts, I think, were nice to get an idea of the different kids playing in southeastern Connecticut and across the state of Connecticut in the ECC. Going to be 2nd and 6, down under 10 minutes remaining here in the ballgame. Ebden gives to Condi. Condi off a right tackle. Condi breaks a tackle. Going to have a first down. Ledyard. It's the senior Devin Condi getting some touches, and he gets a first down for the Colonels just shy of midfield at the 48-yard line of Ledyard. It'll be 1st and 10.
Not to mention we've seen Bacon, and we saw Killingly as well. We took the long ride up 395, the other end of the state, and we had a chance to see Killingly, and wouldn't that be something if Killingly and Ledyard faced off in the Class M state final?
Well, I have a feeling that the new Fairfield team is very good. They're number 2 in the Class M, shutting out St. Joe's. I get the feeling that they're a very good football team, and that defense is very good. We'll see how they handle this very efficient double wing of the Colonels. Handoff again to Condi. Condi now breaks tackle, going to get 6 yards on first down. Devin Condi, he's wrestled to the ground by Colton Dennis.
That Class M state final could be either at New Britain High School or West Haven this year. Last year, Ledyard played at New Britain, lost to St. Joe's in that game. Moved the ball very well, just couldn't capitalize when they got inside the red zone.
I think Killingly has a slightly easier road to the which they should as the 1 seed. But wouldn't it be something if either Killingly or Ledyard got in the finals, and if they were both there playing each other, that'd be fantastic. 2nd and 5. Condi got 5 on first down. Daggett's now the fullback. Condi is on one wing, Lynch on the other. Under center is Ebden. Again, the ball goes to Condi off a right end. Condi cuts it back inside, and he's going to be close to the first down, but he's still on his feet. Devin Condi, the senior, he might be the second stringer, but he is running like a first stringer right now with a lot of determination. But you notice the thing about him, he's not trying to bounce anything to the outside because they don't want to score.
No, straight up the gut. Keep the clock moving. I went up to that game last year and up to New Britain High School. That was one of the coldest days of the year. And I sat for back-to-back games. I actually watched them with Mike. When Ledyard lost to St. Joe's, and NFA had lost to Southington last year in the state tournament game. It was 15 below. 20 below.
I thought it was a basketball score when I saw the St. Joe's Ledyard score.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it was a football score. I didn't believe that they could score that you could score that many points in a game. 3rd and short, and Ledyard's going to let it run down all the way till the end of the clock. Ebden gives to Condi. Condi's going to have another first down for the Colonels and more up to the 40-yard line. Devin Condi doing great work here at the end of the ball game for the Colonels. Move the chain. We'll be down under 7 minutes once they run this next play.
Keep the legs moving. Devin Condi, senior out there, making some plays. And Ledyard just want to keep some healthy bodies here moving forward, Case. Big game next Monday.
We have some new folks into the ball game now for Ledyard. We're going to see some different people into the game. Colin Wiltshire into the ball game, number 17 of the Colonels. But we are going to keep Ty Ebden at quarterback to run the show. But Wiltshire is in the backfield. And Ebden is going to take a knee on 1st and 10, and they're going to let the clock run. And I think you're going to see Ledyard put in a whole set of new folks.
I think Wiltshire has the cleanest uniform out there.
I like these new uniforms. These new ones, kids coming in.
You can see the numbers. You can see the numbers.
I see Cody Crawford going into the ball game, and Jonathan Archer's in there. I like these new. I like some new numbers. I can read them. I like that.
Tanner Daggett coming out.
Richard Mulaney's now in the ball game for Ledyard.
A lot of white uniforms out there for Ledyard. A lot of cleanness.
Brandon Whipple. Hand off to Condi. Condi straight up the middle. Got a seam. Spin. Still on his feet. Finally brought down to the ground by Colton Dennis. But a big gain on 2nd down for Devin Condi. And they're going to make it 3rd and about 1.
Here's a trivia question for you. Who is the backup quarterback for Ledyard? Max Ebden?
I don't know who they would actually. I know who's listed as the backup quarterback, but I have no idea if he would actually play or not.
Who is it?
Jacob Sylvia is a freshman, and you got another one. You got Michael Hewley Sebastian is a sophomore. I don't think either of them are the backup quarterback.
No.
You'd have to ask a Ledyard person to be honest.
There are plenty of them up in the booth.
Well, why don't you find out and get on that?
All right. I'm working on it.
3rd and 1. Ty Ebden under center. We know he's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Stat Girl could get that for us if he wasn't texting his,
Hey, he's been tweeting all night. That's all he's been doing is tweeting all night. Now he's been tweeting all night. Oh, he's
Ball
texting.
fumbled on the turf, and it's going to be recovered by Bacon Academy. Coming out of the pack for Bacon Academy is 77 Colton Dennis, and that'll be turnover, and the Bacon Academy Bobcats will have the ball back with 5:16 remaining in this 55-6 game. Ledyard on top as we wind down our final broadcast of game day in the high school football season.
Well, the video package will come out tomorrow of this game, and I can't say enough about Peter Wappy and some of the camera people that we've worked with. Are Stratton up on the roof tonight in the rain. He is weathered the elements. Tim Cook, Shelley, Carlos, the whole 9 yards. I mean, these guys do wonderful work, Casey, and they're the guys that are outside. I mean, we're inside the booth.
That's right.
We've been in Purchase though too.
We've been on the scaffolding.
The perch at NFA, yeah.
That's a little dangerous. The junior voice did not like the scaffolding.
Yeah.
Mrs. Voice would never have made it up there. Under 5 minutes remaining, 4:56 remaining here in the ball game. 55-6 Ledyard on top.
Mike DeMar didn't come up to the scaffolding either. That was the week we had John Iavino was the coach. He's like, Keith, I am afraid of that, afraid of heights. Can't get up there.
We have a timeout on the field. I don't know why. Timeout Bacon Academy with 4:47 remaining, probably just to put in the last people in the game. I want to remind you that this will be a good time. I can actually, while we have a timeout, let me go through the scoring. So people are saying, how did it get to be 55-6?
Yeah.
Well, first period, 6:28, a 50-yard touchdown run by Manny DeShield Santa Bria got the scoring going for Ledyard, followed by a 4-yard run by DeShield Santa Bria, and at the end of the first period, it was 14-0 Ledyard. Second period, Peter Gazibwe got Bacon Academy on the board with a 1-yard touchdown run. The extra point was blocked. Then Justin Carter capped off with a 9-yard touchdown run, a 90-yard Ledyard drive, and then a 28-yard pass, Ty Ebden to Carter with 1:20 remaining in the half, made it 27-6 at halftime. Then in the third period, all craziness broke loose. 10:43, a 62-yard Justin Carter run. 7:52, a 52-yard DeShield Santa Bria run. 4:33, a 37-yard DeShield Santa Bria run. And with 51 seconds remaining, a 14-yard Luke Saccone run. 55-6 Ledyard. We are now 4:45 remaining here in the fourth and final period. Bacon Academy's final game of the season. Ledyard, of course, will move on. Looks like they'll be on the road come Monday at New Fairfield, who last time we checked was shutting out St. Joseph's 24-0. Kelly is in the shotgun. Ball is snapped. It's fallen on the turf. It looks like it's loose, and I think Bacon may have recovered it. And I hope that they do so that the clock can continue to wind.
Casey, advantage or disadvantage for Coach Bunicor taking his team on the road next Monday? Obviously, we talked about, it's a lengthy bus ride, probably be an hour and a half trip or something like that. Is it, how does that play into his team and his preparation as far as going on the road in the state semifinal game?
Well, the disadvantage is it's like he was talking about. You got to get on a bus. You're gonna have to leave school early.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get on a bus. It's a long drive. It's an unfamiliar drive. You don't know the routines down there, so you're gonna have to, you don't know the facilities or anything like that. So it's gonna be a difficult set of circumstances for Ledyard. They're going to be on underdogs and on the road on a foreign field against the number 2 seed. And I promise you, there's only that one of the people that were in the crowd tonight were representatives from New Fairfield. There were New Fairfield people here scouting Ledyard tonight because they have a short week to review film. But advantage is, I promise you that New Fairfield has probably not seen a team that runs the Ledyard offense.
The double wing tee, and the way and how efficiently and effectively they do run it.
Now, Bacon Academy running the spread. Ledyard has seen a lot of different offenses this year.
Yeah.
From the Ledyard team certainly has seen a lot of different looks. The Bacon Academy team can spread you out. The Fitch team with a dynamic quarterback, NFA with size. So Cranston East to start the year. A lot of different offenses that this Ledyard defense has seen. They've shown the ability to stop the run. They've shown the ability tonight to stand up to a spread. So I don't know that there's going to be a lot to fool Ledyard, but I think that New Fairfield will certainly have a difficult time preparing for the double wing.
Right, and I think whether it's next week against New Fairfield, if they move on to the Class M state final, I mean, their offense will dictate the pace of the game, correct?
I would think so. I'm very curious. Just seeing what I saw from New Fairfield, 24-0 over St. Joe's, I have a feeling that they're a very good defensive team, and that's going to be a very difficult battle. But again, that might be where the advantage of having the double wing comes into play. I will say that if Ledyard is fortunate enough to advance to the finals, you guys joked about it at halftime, if they played Killingly, there might not be 5 passes in that entire game.
That'd be an incredibly just upfront physical matchup by both teams because, again, Ledyard is excellent in what they do. And Killingly is no joke. We've seen them in person. I've seen them a couple times this year. We've had them on game day, Casey. And again, they're very, very good at what they do. And they keep it simple as well.
Austin Caffrey, Spencer Lockwood. Austin Caffrey, Spencer Lockwood.
Sprinkle in a little DeRozier at quarterback, and you've got him.
Throw it once in a while, but that's really all it was. Thunder and lightning over and over again. Handoff. Bacon Academy number 32, Kwame Piper, is in the ballgame. And that's, of course, that last name is familiar. His brother Mish also on the team, Kwame and Mish, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and short for Bacon. Ball is at the 42-yard line, and they're going to say it's enough for a first down, so they'll move the chains. Ball is marked at the Ledyard 40. We're down 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. 55-6, the Ledyard Colonels on top. Bacon Academy just running out the clock here at Bill Mignault Field. We're down under a minute. Piper remains in the backfield. The quarterback for Bacon Academy, John Michael Murray, the freshman, stands in the shotgun. Michael Murray hands off again to Piper. Piper on left end, trying to get to the outside, and he's wrapped up out there by Austin Brandt, who's had a nice job on special teams and now on defense, as we're under a minute remaining here. 50 seconds now and counting.
And again, week 11 here on game day, and it looks like it'll be our last broadcast for the football standpoint. Ledyard, Cranston, East Rhode Island, Wyndham, Stonington, Waterford, Fitch, Montville, East Lyme, NFA, Xavier, New London, Bacon Academy, and Killingly. All the schools who have participated. Special thanks to all their coaches who have worn the mics to be part of this wonderful project. The ADs, the pizza in the booth, Stat Guru bringing pizza in the booth. Casey, it's been it's gone by very fast.
Yeah,
it
has.
Quick 11 weeks.
It has, but it's been a lot more to come. You can, if you like what you hear between the sports doctor and me, then you got a lot more to come. We're going to have a basketball preview show to highlight the upcoming season of high school basketball. We'll have a lot more coming up on game day on theday.com. And that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. The clock has hit the 000 on the first night of December. What a holiday season beginning for the Ledyard Colonels, 55-6 over Bacon Academy. Really want to take a second to congratulate the Bacon Academy Bobcats, Coach Eric Larka, and his coaching staff, Mike Murray, Bill Pompa, Selvin Luke, Nick Sangiacomo, Dave Mason, Dave McDowell, the team manager, Gracie Caffro, all of the people involved with Bacon Academy, the parents of the Bacon Academy Bobcats, once again, the seniors for Bacon Academy, Dan Narlock, Matt Seacard, John Blakely, Nick Provost, Peter Gazibwe, the captain, Sean Kelly, Dan Rodiger, Jason Geary, Jacob Fortin, Eric Brooks, Zach Hill, a captain. Tyler O'Connor, Dylan Kornbrath, captain, and Harley Carroll and Colton Dennis, the seniors for this Bacon Academy team on a 8-3 season. We want to say congratulations to them. Ledyard High School will be traveling to New Fairfield, it looks like, on Monday.
I'm rooting for both these teams to get in the finals. I want to see Ledyard killing it. Why not? Let's have some fun.
So for the final time this year, ladies and gentlemen, let's take it to the junior voice of game day.
Your final score, Ledyard 55, Bacon 6, live on theday.com.